But yeah, so they'll be able to hear me, but probably not you guys, and that would be bad. They're not. They just both have wire in their name. Let us see. I don't know. How many people are watching? Hi guys! We love you. Obviously, this is the first time we're doing this, so please bear with us while we try to make this shit work. Somebody shut that bird up. Wow, there's a huge delay. Guys. You think? Good boy. Oh, great. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's the whole point. What's up? What do you have? What do you mean, what is it saying? I switched it to the full thing and then capture audio. Yeah. So what are you saying? Okay, I'll kill it. I can't seem... Also hearing like massive echo, which is really annoying. No, I am with me. What's going on? Any luck? Streaming. Yeah. Okay. Shoot. I. You have. So are you doing another stream right now? How did you take over? All right. I'm gonna quit out of mine then. Okay. If you can't hear you, if you can hear me but you can't hear you, add your microphone because that started working for me.
Test.
I don't think I can hear you, Tim.
Yeah, I don't think so.
What the frig?
All right, you should be good now. I think we should be good. Yeah, this should work.
How is it gonna work?
Because I added my microphone.
Okay. Because I'm still on the Goobs, on the YouTubes. I'm still, there's 70 people watching my stream.
But Jennifer just heard. Oh, wait. What? All right, I'm watching mine.
Are there 17 people watching?
There's
it?
19.
Really?
Oh, wait, I hear you.
And now I hear you.
I'm confused, but I'm happy.
I guess turn off your Wirecast and see what happens. Because I think.
I did. I turned off my Wirecast.
Okay, so refresh your
Yeah,
YouTube.
I can hear Tim, and I can hear Thrifty too.
All right, good. Cheek, come back.
Okay.
And add Nicholos.
I'm really confused still.
Yeah. Oh, I think what you had to do is you had to add your computer sound.
My computer sound wouldn't add. There wasn't a thing to do that.
Interesting.
So should I try it?
I'm still getting. I'm getting like I'm having deja vu because I feel like we've heard all this before.
Yeah. Oh, I think you.
I don't understand how the stream's gonna switch from how it was mine to yours though. That doesn't make any goddamn sense.
I think I just hijacked it from you. Like I changed the stream from camera 1 to mine.
Hey man, if it works.
Okay, so Ion Throne can hear Thrifty and Tim. Judging by the levels, we should be able to hear everybody. So if
Where's
I,
Nick?
All right.
Where's Nick?
Is there a good way to do like 4 and 4 videos so it's like not just whoever's talking?
I don't know. I mean that would be nice.
Yeah, so cheeky. So this we're gonna have to leave up completely.
Okay.
And
Oh, I didn't mean to bring my...
It apparently is working on Tim's computer.
I'm here now.
do not quite know what happened.
I heard everything from both of you on the stream.
Great.
All right, so we live?
So wait,
Did
can
you
we...
have to, like,
Let's
switch
double check.
Screens or anything, or is it just?
Well,
I
so
see a Windows computer now.
yeah,
Maybe
that's what you want.
Awesome.
This is the time where we just got to be like, forget. I'll be sure to mute
Logic.
that.
I'm
It
joining
is
the
muted.
live stream now.
Yeah, so just mute your things, Alvi. I'm gonna run and grab my computer because I can't touch this one.
So many computers. Too much. Hey, we're getting to figure it out.
We have
We
figured
figured it out.
It is good.
Tim is my hero.
Yeah. Tim, can I see that water? I feel like all this...
I wonder how much of it was just like the math tappings.
It must be, I guess, right? We have less people watching now than before.
Well, now
Oh,
that
I'll tweet. I'll
16
tweet
people.
now.
I wonder why
That
we're
we're
doing
actually
such great
going.
content before.
I'll tweet us.
Right? There's 16 people watching, right?
Mhm.
The thing is, there's such a delay on the stream. Like we could all be dead by now.
Who even
I
knows?
don't even know. I don't know.
That is accurate.
I'll tweet that everything's working and
And that we're all dead.
that we're dead.
Yeah. Let's see.
And it only took us 30 minutes.
That's not so bad, you know.
Tim, good job, buddy.
Again, this is the times that like it just kind of works. It's like I don't know why it's working, so don't touch anything.
Ever
The
again.
big thing
Never touch that computer
is
again.
with live streaming is getting your system sound to go, and if you do that, you're gravy.
Right.
And I have almost no idea how to do it when it's just not working.
Did you guys just decide the living room was better, or
Yeah, because my computer's better and it's faster and stuff.
Jennifer, you shared notes with me. And
I did.
I'm trying to find them.
they're in your shared folder?
My Google Drive is a wasteland.
Okay. I posted
Yeah.
a link
I got it.
from our Twitter. So now we should be good. I have so many things open on my computer right now.
This is great.
Oh,
This
that
is
says
really
it says that they're saying that Thrifty and Nick's volume is lower.
So I gotta just
Bump 'em.
change that.
Gotta bump them. Bump it up. I like that now that people can hear us. They're leaving. We have 15.
exciting. They just really wanted to see if we could do it.
I thought it was like.
Oh, no way. Totally can't. What else?
Oh, I know.
They just want to see if we are capable.
Oh, man. Eventually.
I like
we are.
watching past us better. Like we were so
Okay.
young then.
So young and so beautiful.
Yeah, I have very little idea if what I just did helped.
So wait, I have a question. So when, as far as podcast goes, when we record, the Wirecast is recording that us? Is that what's happening?
Or is Thrifty recording the...
I am recording audio.
Okay, good.
Well, we're gonna record ourselves as
We maybe should still do Audacity.
Oh shit. Well,
Well, I have it on my computer.
You have it on your computer?
Yeah.
Okay. God, I feel like it's gonna make your computer crash. Like too many things are happening at one time.
Yeah.
Do we not? Let's just wiretap it for tonight.
that's fine with me. It's less editing.
Yeah, I'll just send you my wiretap.
All right.
What's wiretap?
Hopefully it works.
I think
That's a different thing.
Totally different program.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, that's what you told me to download earlier.
That's
So
why
now I have
it's
wiretap
taken
on my
years
computer
to
too.
record us.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
After the video is just saved for archive viewing, I think you can edit the video in YouTube and take off those first 20 minutes.
I hope so.
Or 30.
I did.
All right,
I like that.
Should we get this shit going?
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, we're way loud. I don't know why.
What's up?
We bumped it up when we recorded The Walking Dead.
Okay,
last
so
time.
hopefully we should be better now. Just, I don't know.
All right. Now can I show you my picture?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Look at the Google Hangout. That's me a year ago.
And now.
What is...
And now.
Now look. Oh wait, it went away from your face. Look how svelte your face is.
Yeah. This mic's in the front.
Whoa!
Impressive.
You lost all your face.
Your face is gone.
You should shave your face just to freak people
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, if I shave, it's like even more noticeable.
Okay.
I honestly didn't know I lost that much weight until I looked at this stupid picture.
That's how it goes.
Okay, are we ready?
Mm-hmm.
Let's do it.
Hello and welcome to Cast of Thrones, the Game of Thrones podcast. This week, the beginning of a new book club. We will be reading Storm of Swords, and we will be going from Prologue to Davos I. I am Michael Thrifty Nerd Tomorrow, and with me is Nick Bristow.
Hey everyone, I'm half the man I used to be.
And Tim Lanning.
Hey guys, you know what? It's great to be here.
Also with us, Jennifer Chi.
Guys, I am so psyched about Storm of Swords. Ready to get going with it.
Hi guys.
Hey.
Hey.
Hey guys.
It feels like it's been a
It
while.
feels like
It has been a
it has
while.
been a long time. Cause
Well, we had the Wine Women Westeros.
Yeah.
We're only doing bi-weekly
Yeah.
episodes
So it's been-
now, bi-monthly.
it's been a while since we've all recorded Cast of Thrones together, so I forgot how to do it.
I don't know how to do it either. We're doing a whole new fancy goddamn thing where we're on the YouTubes.
It only took us like half an hour to get it going, which, you know, hey.
Yeah, we're basically going to be doing like one of these per month as we go through the off season, and you're very welcome to join us. This first one was a bit of a shitstorm to get going.
That's true.
But,
It's true.
but it's working now, so we figured it out. I'm sure next time it'll be perfect. There'll be no issues.
Yep.
And it'll be great. So come and join us, and you can hang out with all the other super Game of Thrones fans and chat and
Ooh, I did it.
make fun of
Guys,
us.
I did it. I'm sorry. I wasn't listening to you, but I figured it out.
I see.
Everyone should be loud. Sorry.
Whew.
Maybe
Guys.
too loud.
Okay, so we're still figuring it out.
We're working on it. This is
How to
all
do
new
this.
territory for us, so.
We plan to have all the bugs worked out by next year.
Yeah, like next, like a,
Season 6.
yeah.
by book 6.
Whenever George R. R. Martin puts out book 7, we'll figure it out. So
Hey, Tim Lanning,
Yeah, I'm back.
that is a beautiful shirt that you're wearing.
Oh, this shirt? Oh, don't even mention that. You know, just like to look good.
guys,
Like to
if you're
dance.
listening to this on the podcast, it's because Tim is wearing our Drunks and Dragons shirt. It's really cool.
I mean, it's great.
And wait, what's Nick Bristow wearing?
Oh, I don't know. I'm wearing
Boom!
a nice
Oh my gosh,
donkey right here.
Winterfell's shirt.
Jennifer, what are you wearing?
I'm wearing a tank top from H&M. It's striped, nautical stripes.
Oh, H&M sponsored us this
yeah,
week.
thanks.
I'm
H&M.
wearing. You can't tell. It looks kind of black, but I'm wearing a blue shirt.
Wow.
It is a shirt that is blue.
That's a shocker. All right,
Repping that
everybody roll a
blue.
d20 and explain all of book 2.
Oh no, I don't want to do that. Do we want to just?
Wait,
just-
book 3? You know we're doing book 3, right? Did you read book 2?
No.
He's making a
Book-
joke.
Guys, I'm
No,
back.
we gotta explain last week's, which was book 2.
Exactly.
I-
We roll the d20
I get it.
like our other podcasts.
I'm still
Yeah.
trying to make sure the stream's working.
Oh, you're so. You know what, Tim? You deal with that, and we'll deal with the podcasting part. All right.
Okay.
As long as you don't cross them, everything will be fine.
Do we want to just get into this prologue right now?
I think we probably should.
All right.
It's been a while. Can I first starting off, reading impressions. Reading is good. Different than
Good reading.
the
Good.
I can tell you read a lot.
Like- was anybody else shocked at how much they forgot about book 3 after
All the
watching
time.
season 3?
Yeah.
There's a lot of extra stuff.
I'm always shocked at how much I'm usually just shocked by the things that I see in the show, and I'm like, that's so awesome. And then I go read it in the book, and it's exactly taken from the book.
Yeah, there's a
Like, all
lot
the
this
time.
Right.
season that I was surprised about too. It was
Like
like,
a lot of the really good dialogue is picked directly from the book.
Yeah. He picks up a lot of dialogue, but what you miss out on the show is all that great internal dialogue, all the
Yeah.
little side stories, and everything's so much more intricate and interesting. I'm really excited to keep going with this book club.
Oh yeah, no.
well, this is the best book.
Yeah, this is my favorite. So, the first couple chapters, I was kind of I'm not super into it. But then by the time I was a few more chapters in, I was like, I want to keep reading forever and never stop. I only want to read this book for the rest of my life. That's an exaggeration, but I do really enjoy Storm of Swords. And
Yeah, it was great. So what's the prologue about?
Prologue
It's
gives
from the
us
view of
Chet,
Chet.
who's a real asshole.
I hate him.
He is just the worst.
Yeah.
His face is covered in boils, and he's very angry. I can only imagine that his boils are just filled with anger.
What's
not
a,
pus,
what's
it's
a
anger.
wen? A W-E-N.
When I think it's the yellow part of the boil. I
Yucky.
think. I don't
Ugh.
really,
Ugh.
maybe you know what? Because I love you guys, I'm gonna look it up on the
Jennifer,
internet.
I noticed that you don't have your cooling pad. You know that these are called notebooks and not laptops.
Look.
Because to wear it on your lap
Oh my God.
invites certain doom. I'm going to go grab mine.
Shut up. Shut up.
It is really disturbing to be in Chet's head
Yeah,
because he is not a.
he's
good
a very
person.
bad person. His view of the world
He's
is
a very
really
bad
messed
person.
up.
Yes, it is.
We don't get any of this in the show because
Right.
they're just attacked at the end of season 2, And here we get to see like leading up to the attack.
Right.
And it's really interesting that they were planning on revolting like well before like any shit went down. They just like knew like shit was coming and they wanted to get out.
Well, I think that Chet has gotten a group of people together. It's Chet and Lark and Small Paul, and there's more of them, and they're like, I do
You mean
not
Lark, the sister man?
the sister man, yes. And they're like, we don't really want to fight these wildlings. This seems super shitty, but Commander Mormont is super into fighting the wildlings, so we're gonna make that not happen. And the way their plan to do that is, I guess the second guy in command, what's his name, Sir Otten. He thinks that he's gonna like just immediately go back to the wall, retreat. So he's like, all right, if we kill Mormont, we kill everybody on watch, and we kill Sam, who has the ravens.
Right.
Then in like the chaos, we can just leave.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, they could just like peace out. Nobody will know.
they won't realize until it's too late to look for them when they're already like halfway back to the wall.
And then he toys with an idea at some point to kill enough people so that the guy in charge will be a guy who wants to go fight the wildlings, because then they'll get killed.
Yeah.
But then he's like, nah, it's too complicated.
No, they just want to leave, and it's interesting because some of the people like Lark, the sister man, is like, I'm gonna go back to my town where I'm from, and Chet's like, I can't go back where I'm from because I killed somebody, and also no one wants to hang out with me.
Well, yeah, no one can go back.
Well, the main issue is, if you go back anywhere in the Seven Kingdoms, you know, people who know that you were a member of the Night's Watch, if they see you, they'll be like, hey, we have the right to kill you now. That's awesome because we love like beheading people. Let's kill you.
Yeah, even if you say don't tell on me, they'll still tell on you, and then
right.
Whoops. Accident.
Tim.
Damn it, Tim.
Sorry.
But I think they do talk about going overseas.
Yeah. Davos or whatever.
But that's when Chet is all like, I don't know how to do anything. I have no skill.
Yeah, and he's like, I don't speak your girlish tongue.
Oh, he's a big talker. I guess like when he was a young man, his father caught leeches, and so like literally all he knows how to do is catch leeches.
And just by like taking off his clethes and
walking that's crazy.
Leechy water.
Yeah, I don't think that requires any skill at all, other than to have skin and blood.
Yeah, but
and
then
be willing to have a million leeches on you.
Oh, that sounds so terrible.
A million leeches on your wiener.
Just watch out.
What's the best place to catch them?
The thing that really disturbed me, though, about being inside of Chet's brain was the whole reason of why he's at the wall. And it's that basically there was a girl in his town that he was into, but he looks gross, and so she was...
He wasn't that into her, it's that she had fucked everyone else.
And so he's like, well, she should fuck me too.
Right.
She was the town bicycle.
Apparently.
Right, everyone had a right.
And he went and picked wildflowers, and guys, it took like all morning to pick them. So, of course, she owes him sex, except for she's like, no thank you, you're super gross.
Yucky.
So he kills her.
He really liked stabbing her, though. He seemed to think he's okay with it.
He says, it's like later on, he's like, it wasn't my knife I wanted to put in you.
Well, maybe you should have controlled yourself a little more, not been so gross.
Yeah,
deal with your face.
Well, they didn't have health.
Well, the thing is, they like just invented Clearasil in this point in time, and it was very hard to get. So,
dude, just it was just interesting, like the way his brain worked. He's like, I picked her flowers, so she should do it. Like,
yeah, and he even goes on to basically blame them for stealing his wife away, just because he killed one person.
Like, yeah, it's pretty bad, dude.
So he's like a weird sociopath.
So he also so going back to like what their plans to be after they ran away, Chet's like, well, maybe I'll just go and kill Craster and get all his wives for myself.
Right, I'll just have his wives.
First of all,
and he goes into this weired fantasy where, like, the young ones would warm my bed, and the old ones would like cut logs and stuff.
Like, dude, I don't think you can kill Craster. Like, he's a pretty hard guy.
He's gnarly. Well, he'll get Small Paul to hug him.
Small Paul doesn't understand. Small Paul is very concerned about Mormont's raven, by the way.
He is.
He's like super
well, if we get hungry, we can eat the raven. Yeah, eat my raven.
Oh, he loves the raven
if
so
we're
much.
lucky.
Jar Jar is really into super big dumb guys.
I guess it's like the bigger you are, the dumber you are. Like, is there any big characters that are
That's
like,
kind of
smart?
true. I was like, no way, Dunk. And then I was like, wait,
What?
Dunk's kind of dumb.
Dunk the long
Dunk
thick
is
of the
definitely
castle
dumb.
wall as slow as an aurochs. Come on!
Yeah, there's some correlation to that.
I don't know if the Cleganes are dumb.
Well, Sandor is.
No, wait.
Gregor.
He's not dumb.
Gregor is. Sandor isn't, but Sandor's just tall.
But
He's not
it is kind of
huge.
funny, the correlation of, like, you're big and tall, you stupid.
Well,
that's what's gonna happen.
Well, it's kind of like, you know, if you're going to be big, strong, and powerful, like, you can't also be...
Smart and beautiful.
yeah, in the character
that
creator,
you'll be
you don't have
OP.
enough, you know,
Yeah.
points to keep on giving yourself intelligence and do...
Exactly.
Right.
Oh, it makes so much sense. I
Right.
understand
Like
now.
You know, the more I read this book, you know, he's just playing his own private D&D campaign, and, you know, everything is random. And everything has a set of rules
Right.
like that.
Right. Random was...
So I think the other thing that this chapter really does is it just paints a picture of the Night's Watch just being a big bag of crap.
Yeah.
Oh, well, it is. It's all the
Like-
criminals and, like, people who
Like,
don't have
it's
anywhere else to
the
go.
worst people.
Yeah.
Mhm.
They're like, oh, and this guy's with us, and he, you know, bragged he raped 100 women, and they
Yeah.
never
Oh,
knew.
that
And
guy.
that
they
is
were
one of the
there until it was
most
already in them.
I forgot
subtly
about that.
disturbing parts. I don't know. I hate that.
How many awful people
All of
are
them.
there? Like, not every single. It's like Sam and John. There's like a few
Yeah.
like highborn people that are just like,
And a
oh,
lot
go
of
be honorable.
you gotta assume most of the knights and stuff are from
It's-
Robert's Rebellion.
Yeah.
It's really surprising that there aren't more, like, you know, like prison fights. Like, this is essentially a prison.
Yeah.
But everybody acts pretty normal.
Yeah, but they can't escape. I don't know. It's
Well, okay, so, like,
Just
modern
'cause they
day...
know they can't go anywhere or they'll get beheaded.
right.
Unless they go defect to the wildlings, which seems like
Right.
what I would do if I were them.
Right. And what some of them have done, but basically all of Westeros is a prison for them.
Yeah, that's true.
nerds.
Anyway, so
Do you think if you know, regular prisons like our prisons like had a like, oh, if you know, start killing inmates and gang violence and stuff, we'll just chop off your head? Do you think there would be less
God.
gang violence in prison?
Probably.
I
Yeah,
don't
probably.
That makes I don't like.
Oh, what I'm
thinking about
saying
that.
is, why don't we put our prison population to good use and make a Night's Watch to defend against Canada?
Yeah, because we know all the Canadians are whites. They're gonna come down here.
They are.
I think
awful
we're
white.
getting to a dangerous kind of Mike Dowish area here.
Um,
Careful.
let's talk about how Chet hates Sam like the absolute
Guys,
most.
he hates Sam.
He hates Sam so much, and so, he's like, yeah, Sam took my job, my nice cushy job where I just hung out with blind Maester Aemon.
He made
now
a
I have
fire
to deal
every
with
now
these
and
stupid
again,
dogs, and I hate
but-
them.
Yeah.
So
Sir Piggy, you know,
Sir
is going to be
Piggy's
the.
so mean to him.
Luckily for them, he's in charge of the Ravens, so they'd have to kill him. But if he wasn't in charge of the Ravens, then
I
who
think
knows what they would
Chet,
do?
I think Chet would still want
It's
to
like-
kill him.
Well, as we see later.
Yeah, as we
on.
find out, he still wants to kill him anyway. And later, a little bit later on, Sam is practicing shooting arrows, and he's very bad at it. Which
Yeah.
I don't think any
Yeah,
of us are
he's not
surprised
good.
about it at all.
Yeah, they make Sam in the book obviously much more whiny and incompetent
Yeah.
and stuff like that. He's really just good at reading and chilling and
And
right.
maps and things.
Maps
He
and
knows
things.
He
history.
doesn't even read. He just does audiobooks.
Yeah, he's like not. Yeah, he's not even that smart.
What a nerd.
And Chet tries to like make fun of Sam and is all like, "Oh, like just wait until the wildlings come and you're gonna pee your pants." But then luckily Dolores Ed comes and makes super hardcore
right.
fun of him.
So who's gonna be? I'll be the narrator.
Okay.
Who's gonna be Dolores Ed, and who's gonna be Chet?
I want to be Dolores Ed because I love him.
I guess I'll be Chet.
Be Chet.
Okay. The fat boy was shaking. Dolores Ed put a hand on his shoulder.
Brother,
He said solemnly.
just because it happened that way for you doesn't mean Samuel will suffer the same.
What are you talking about, Toilette?
The axe that split your skull. Is it true that half your wits leaked down on the ground and your dogs ate them? That's how it happened.
And scene.
Guys, I decided while I was reading earlier that Dolores Ed is my favorite character of all time, and that if this series ends and he is not the king of Westeros, then I'm going to burn all my Game of Thrones books.
Well, he's gonna have a hard time fighting Hot Pie, but I guess if he has
that's a good
to.
point. This is what I think needs to happen. I think
Well, you mean
that Dolores Ed needs to be the king, Davos needs to be the hand, Bran is going to be Lord Commander of the Night's Watch, and all the Mormont ladies are going to be the rest of the, not the Night's Watch, the Lord Commander of the Kingsguard, and all the Mormont ladies will be the rest of the Kingsguard. Done.
I can get behind that.
That's what's going to happen.
Yeah, that'll
Or
work.
that's what I want to happen. That's what's happening in that fan fiction I'm writing in my heart right now.
right? Okay.
So, Chet's plan is... Oh, wait. Let me step back. I was getting ahead of myself.
Yeah.
Mormont calls everyone together for a rousing speech. It's like, we're going to ambush those stupid wildlings. We're going to get them.
Yeah, all 300 of us. We're going to go ahead and do it.
And he gets them
all,
and they're all like, we're going to die.
They're going after 30,000.
Yeah, it's...
At least.
But they're not, they have no order. I think it makes sense that they could just, like, run back and forth.
Guys, it's kind of just like later, we read much later, where Jorah tells Dany that story about the Unsullied fighting against the Dothraki, and there's like only 3,000 Unsullied, but like 50,000 Dothraki, but the Unsullied win because they're like super disciplined and know what they're doing. It's kind of the same concept here.
These guys are a bunch of thieves and murderers.
But they've been training.
Not, like,
they have been
highly trained.
You're not wrong. Yeah. I don't know.
Okay, here's the thing, though.
The Rangers are trained.
Even if the 30,000 wildlings didn't fight back, they still, each one of them has to kill 100 dudes.
Well, the idea...
If you just went and stabbed 100 dudes, like, I would be pretty tired by the end of that.
But they're not all going to fight at the same time, and a lot of the wildlings are women and children.
Yeah, so the plan is to, like, go kill the women and children and, like, their livestock,
the old people.
and and scatter them, and then, like, basically quell the uprising. But they even said that they had hundreds of horsemen, which is strange because...
That's weird for the wildlings. They don't really do that.
They had like 500 horsemen, and that just doesn't happen with wildlings.
So, I don't know. But everyone's, like, rightly is like, dude, I don't know if this is going to work. And Commander Mormont's like, let's say our pledge again. And everyone gets all, like, inspired because they say they're...
And Chet was already, like, eyeing some of his dudes. And he wasn't even sure if they could all handle this type of work, the murder. And he's like, God, now they're starting to get even more out of it. The words are rousing him.
Yeah, but then what happens?
But then it starts to snow.
Well, he goes to bed.
They go to sleep.
He goes to sleep, and he wakes up, and he's like, F this, plans off, it starts to snow.
This is ruining
everything. It's terrible.
They're going to be able to track us, like, nothing's going to go as planned. Fuck it, I'm going to kill Sam anyway. Exactly.
He's like, I'm just going to stab Sir Piggy in his suet.
Yeah. Does he even say that? I think you just like to say
No, he says he's going to cut through the legs.
I think he does say that.
Okay.
He does, in fact.
So when he goes to kill Sam, just as he's, like, reaching in to, like, kill him, they hear, blast of the horn. Crap.
Right.
And
which is super great in the audiobook because he does the horn.
What does one blast mean?
Really long time.
One blast
is brothers return.
Okay, so he's like, oh, crap, Corrin happened.
I guess Corrin's here. I don't know.
Oh,
shit, they're attacking!
Wildlings! And Sam wakes up like,
that was two, right? That was two. And then you hear it. And it's like, that doesn't happen for thousands of years.
Because Sam knows, because he's read it in a book.
So what do you think is happening to them?
Nobody in the world has blown the horn 3 times. Nobody.
What are they doing at the front of the ridge? They're just, like, piping that horn. They're just, like, looking at each other like, do we do it? Like, we're going to get in so much trouble if this isn't real.
Yeah, let's just do it as a joke, guys.
I guess they can see. I guess they can...
Well, yeah, there's like a horde of zombies and dire bears and spiders and death horses and all crazy stuff.
Do you want to know a fun fact I learned as I was researching on Tower of the Hand? So earlier in the chapter, where they're trying to hunt the bear, but the dogs, like, won't go after the bear, that's because it was a white bear. Yeah. It wasn't alive. It wasn't a real bear. It was...
Oh, so it didn't have, like, a heartbeat.
It was a zombie bear.
And that's why they're all freaking out.
And that's why the dogs were like, not doing it.
Get out of here.
So Chet pees himself, and that's the end of the chapter.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, can we also, like, Sam just wakes up and he's like, hey, Chet, what's going on?
Hello, sworn enemy, I love you.
Come and hang out.
Why are you hanging out over my bed with your knife at my throat? That's weird. And then they go on with their day.
Yeah, like, okay.
Yeah, let's go on.
Next is Jaime I.
Jaime I.
Guys, I forgot in my love of Jaime, I kind of forgot he's sort of a dick.
Right.
This is our first chapter with him, right?
Ever.
Like, ever.
Well, he's just in the cell for most of the last book.
Yeah, he's not doing anything interesting. Like, we see him through other people's eyes. We don't get inside of his head until this chapter.
That is correct.
Yeah, so him and Brienne?
Yes.
Brienne.
Not Brian.
And Sir Cleos. Oh, yeah, you guys doing the audiobook again?
Brian. It is spelled Brian, okay.
Sir Cleos is a new character, or new to the... Well, he wasn't in the show.
He wasn't in the show.
Yeah, he was.
He wasn't with them.
He was the one that Jaime killed.
There was a cousin, but he wasn't...
No, they changed
I don't think
the
it was
character.
Well, that's the same.
It wasn't anything like
That's the same. It's the same character. But
Either way,
Sir Khalees
it
is
wasn't just Jaime and Brienne.
Well, this is the guy that's been going back and forth.
Yeah, he's like...
In this, it's the same character.
It's like his uncle or something.
Or his cousin. But in the show, it's the guy that's going back and forth, and he kills him. And this, it's the guy that's going back and forth, and they leave.
Okay.
And he comes with him.
Yeah.
Just in the show, he's young and attractive, and in the
he's
book,
old
he's
and weird-looking.
old and yeah.
He looks all Frey.
I think he's
He looks very Frey-like.
child.
Frey as shit.
Like his mom's a Frey or something.
Yeah, he's got that Frey chin, I think, is what's going on. Isn't that
No, his mom's a Lannister.
Isn't she the cool one?
Oh, I thought the...
Because her husband took the Lannister name.
Oh, yeah, because...
And that's what James was kind of making fun of him for.
Huh.
Gotcha. Okay, that
He
makes
deserted
sense.
the Frey house to get some of that Lannister poo-tang.
Guys, Jaime is just giving Brienne the business.
So much of the
Sometimes
business.
Jaime doesn't know when to cool it. Call me harsh,
Yeah.
but he needs to cool it.
He's not been able to like give anybody shit the entire time he was in that cell, so he's just like getting it all out right now, and he can't really do it to Sir Cleos because like it's his family. So he's like, all
And
right,
he's- the whole time he's just doing it in his head, like, I hate you, Sir Cleos.
I hate you so fucking much.
You're
You're the worst.
There's too much tower and not enough lion in you.
Yeah.
Jaime's smart. He's really trying to get under Brienne's skin, get her to like attack him, and give him an opportunity to actually like overpower and escape.
But like Brienne is not. She doesn't really do that. She's like.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, she's been made fun of her whole
Yeah,
life, and like.
It's not like she doesn't care. She just doesn't let it do any. Like it. She doesn't let it get to her.
And I don't understand like why Jaime, doesn't just work with Brienne. She's taking him home.
I don't think he knows how to do that. I don't think he knows how to be like.
Yeah.
He doesn't.
Nice.
He doesn't play well with others.
Yeah.
I don't think he can believe that some wench is gonna keep him safe and stuff.
He just like she just looks so ridiculous to him. It's like this giant lady in armor who's just like very, very not ladylike. I don't know. I just don't think he can understand her at all. And I think Jaime kind of has like the like crab situation going on when he's like prickly on the outside.
He's crab
soft
people.
and soft. He's a crab people.
He also thinks everyone's stupid, so it's
He does
not
think
just
everyone's
that Sir Cleos seems to be pretty stupid.
Yeah, I think he actually is.
And Brienne is sometimes a little too what's the word? Not gullible, but
she's very honor bound.
honor
She's got
bound.
that Ned Stark
Right.
situation.
She's like an
about her.
adult-ish
Yeah, absolutely.
Sansa.
It kind of befuddles Jaime a little bit that Brienne is actually going through with this whole thing, and he constantly like doesn't believe that she really like is putting her own life to protect him, like in all instances.
Yeah.
Especially since her people are now essentially on the side of the Lannisters.
Yeah. Yeah, they are. Because, I mean, they're on their little boat. They're on the river going down the Trident, correct?
Yeah.
They're going towards King's Landing. And they know that people are going to come after them. They know that the Tully, like, River Run people are going to be chasing them soon. So as they're going along, they see a bunch of ladies hanging dead.
Yes.
Right.
Oh, but before that, Jaime puts his disguise on.
Oh, yeah, he changed his
Oh,
head.
yeah.
And it's really gross because there's like bugs crawling out and stuff.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
He's yucko.
Back to the crab people
Yeah,
situation.
did he have a beard? Did they shave his beard off?
He has a beard. He trimmed it.
He trimmed the beard.
Right.
Yeah.
He looks
Normally is a
very
guy-
Tywin Lannister-esque, right?
He's sexy.
Yeah.
Oh man, that gold! Oh, that
He's
beautiful golden
normally-
hair! It's all gone. So
I don't think
sad.
Tywin
He's
Lannister has
normally
a
a
full beard, though.
golden-haired.
I think it's just because
normally
we're
a
mutton
golden
chops.
Yeah,
hair
there's
shaved man, and now he is a bearded man with a shaved
Yeah.
head. Anyway, these are the ladies they see are women that sleep with lions,
Yeah.
that lay with lions, and Brienne has to give them a proper burial because
She Ned Starks
She
it.
She does.
starks it up.
I don't even think Ned Stark would do this.
I don't. Yeah, you know what? He might not actually.
It's like, this is part of war. Winter's
Yeah.
coming.
Let's
We
see.
gotta go.
Winter's coming.
We're escape fugitives for the most part, and we're on the run. Let's stop for a little bit and dig 3 like giant holes.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah,
Especially
With
since
our
they're
hands,
not like
'cause they don't have
crazy
shovels.
far away from River Run.
like Brienne, like why would you do that?
It's a poor
This
idea.
is really dumb, really stupid.
Well, she does, once she sees the Tully sail on the horizon,
She's like,
she,
oh shit, back
she
in the
does
boat.
like
She's
stop
like, dip.
burying them.
Right.
It is.
They would have.
Go ahead.
They would have gotten caught either way because that ship was way faster.
Right.
But the thing is, this scene is kind of pointless because the only reason they got off the boat was so they could make this suspenseful moment. Because they get off the boat and they're like, we don't have anything to bury them with. What are we going to do? Oh, it doesn't matter. There's a ship.
Yeah. I think the other thing that this scene does, though, is... So this is like Stark people that
did it.
That killed these Lannister
Starks and
women.
Tullys. And from this standpoint, we've pretty much been all Starks. Tullys are good. They might be stupid sometimes, but Lannisters are the bad guys.
And it's like, no, actually not.
It's still that way. They laid with lions.
So we had to kill him? So
they had to kill him.
Nick, whose side are you on here? I'm afraid of Nick if Nick lives in Game of Thrones world. He's ruthless.
Hey, you got to do it.
I like how they're like, oh, all they were trying to, earn a living and not starve.
Yeah.
But they live with lions, gotta kill
Just
them.
string him
Yeah, and I
up.
think that basically it's the whole idea of, I'm angry and frustrated, I will murder. And I think that later they go on to, like, in a future chapter, even Jaime's, I think, the idea is, so they have a battle, right? And let's say when Roose Bolton took his men and attacked the battle with Tyrion in the first book. Well, think about some of those men. They fled, like they retreated.
Yeah.
So Bolton took his people away, but during the retreat, there's tons of people who are just scattering. So as the book goes on, there are basically more and more battles. We're in book 3 now. The war has been going since the end of book 1.
Yeah.
So there's been
It's been 2 weeks.
2 weeks. 2 full weeks. It's been like, I forget exactly how long. Like time speeds up later in the series, but right now there's just like pockets. Like that Brotherhood without banners. That's what they are, and they're good for as far as we know.
Yeah, they're like Robin Hood-esque.
But we have the exact same side. If you send like 100 dudes to go capture a fort and they lose and their leader's dead, like, all right, well, you lost all 100 of those guys. Now they're all outlaws. So it's
right. They're not. You lose them as like a force, like them individually, like they don't count. They don't come back.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's bad.
So Brienne does a crazy thing. She like climbs a cliff and like throws a rock on the bad guys.
Oh yeah, because the boat is caught up with them.
on the good guys' boat.
What a stroke of luck.
Yeah. This is so badass. And Jaime's like, what the hell is she doing? Like, this is never going to work. And it totally does. Brienne, like, knocks a giant rock into the boat.
It's that concept of, like, why... this movie's not realistic. This would never happen. It's like, you don't make a movie about the crazy shit that happens in your day-to-day life. No, you do it about the craziest day when the aliens come. On this day, they find a rock in a boat. And she's so strong, she hurled it at them.
Yeah. Did she? No, she just pushed it.
This scene's interesting because as they're coming up, they're like firing arrows, and then Jaime kind of sees what she's doing, and then like distracts him by like
he's like
starting
they're gonna
conversation.
shoot her.
Yeah,
they're gonna shoot her, and then then he's like, Sir Robin.
He's like, hey, did you hear the what about the Lannister, the Stark that went in the bar? And he's like, no, tell me, and then the rock comes.
He's like, how about I'll give you this pelt. A wolf pelt. You're gonna get hit by rocks, and then
it works.
And they get crushed.
And so
he just laughs.
He just breaks the sail. I think the ship's okay.
No, it like breaks the ship in half. There's like a big hole.
I thought it did things.
It like broke.
Oh, that's true. Because they have to walk back home.
Yeah, because their ship takes on water like super fast because the rock, one of like the pieces of the rock like went straight through the hull.
And it split into twine.
Yeah, it like broke in the middle of the ship.
I thought they said, oh, maybe it was the hull. I thought it was the mast.
Well, the big thing was it broke the mast.
Yeah, because they had to walk. So
I think it only killed like a dude and a half.
And yeah, one of the rocks did go like straight down on a guy though.
Right. Don't think of it as like this giant boulder. It was big. But Brienne was strong enough to lift it straight up over her head with her two hands.
Tim, I think you misread that.
Ripped it in half and then threw each
I think it was one hand.
Oh, okay,
but as she lifted it, her armor split apart in that like muscle flexion kind of thing. Like it was like,
and she was sparkling.
Yeah, she looked great. And then she volleyball spiked it down at them.
Oh my god.
Also, her hair grew longer.
She turned green.
It shined.
I don't know what else we're going for here.
Yeah.
I don't know.
About Super Saiyan?
Super Saiyan. Yeah. Her tail grew out again.
Gotta love that Goku.
sort of like despite himself, Jaime possibly saves Brienne by distracting Sir Robin.
Yeah.
And then
Brave
when
Sir Robin.
when she's swimming back to the boat, he's like, oh, I'll just hit her with a paddle and she'll
brainstem.
die
And he
or
doesn't.
whatever. But then he does
Yeah,
it.
and the way that he describes it is almost just as sociopathically as Chet describes stabbing that lady. Is like, I got
Right.
angry and stabbed, and then, but with Jaime, he's like, I'll smash her skull. What am I doing? Why am I
helping
giving her this
her.
oar?
I'm helping
pulling
her.
in.
Yeah.
Stop it.
What? My arms betrayed
Kill
me.
her.
I wanted to kill her and drown
Jaime
her.
smash.
You guys didn't even acknowledge how Brienne dove beautifully from
Yeah.
the top of that cliff into
This-
the water, like no big deal.
This scene is like that Tyrion scene where Tyrion does his
The backflip?
backflip. I don't think they
No,
ever...
it makes sense that Brienne, because she's from like an island,
That's
she
true.
swims.
She does say that, actually.
Yeah, she's like, yeah. 'cause
But
I-
it is
This-
this whole scene like is pretty goofy, but it's also awesome,
I
and it
love
kind
it.
of makes sense.
I don't want to hear.
It would have been
the
awesome to
naysaying.
see in the show, but it would have been really expensive, and Sir Cleos wasn't there.
Yeah,
and
I think the way they did it in the show. Well, they had Brienne kill people in the show, which was still pretty.
the
great.
the show was cool too, but this
Yeah.
is definitely more.
I
more
like when they
insane.
do this where it's like, each one is awesome. So guess what, nerds? You have two awesome things. Shut up.
Don't hear it. So Jaime does not whack Brienne with the paddle, and they're back on their way towards King's Landing.
Mhm. And
Strangely, we start to like Jaime.
Little bit,
yeah,
I
I like him.
yeah
even though he is
Before this, he was just a monster.
yeah he was just an
Alright.
ass.
Yeah, and she wasn't
So-
wearing like crazy armor, so she wasn't like drowning. It was just like a leather jerkin with studs and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would imagine.
Yeah. So on to everyone's favorite character,
Catelyn won.
Catelyn won.
Guys, so Tower of the Hand ranks chapters by most favorite, and this chapter of the 82 chapters in Storm of Swords is ranked 81st.
Yeah.
Wait, which one's 82nd?
I don't know. I had to go check.
Man.
But I think that
Can't wait
is
for that
super.
chapter.
I thought this chapter was really interesting for like a very specific storyline.
Well, apparently you're wrong because the internet's always right.
Yeah, you're right.
Whoops.
I don't think I can actually look.
You can't search it because
I can't search it. It just shows you as you get to
right.
different
And
chapters.
A Clash of Kings, one of Danny's chapters is the worst one. I forget which
No,
one.
are you sure it wasn't a Sansa chapter?
I think it's Danny's.
Because it's maybe Sansa one was low.
Some girl.
It was yeah.
Oh, some shit.
It's weird because George R. R.
People do
Martin.
hate Catelyn though. People really hate her.
Yeah, George R. R. Martin's good at writing women, but there are some rough scenes with Catelyn and Arya. Not Arya, never a rough scene. But with Dany and Sansa, they all get better.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, Dany gets worse, but
Yeah. I was gonna say.
Catelyn just
I thought this. But the only thing that's happening in this chapter is that Catelyn is now a prisoner, and they don't make her go to like the cells. They're like, okay, you can hang out in your dad's room,
yeah.
and that's
You have
it.
to go hang out in the stink town.
And she's just like pondering and like being sad in her dad's room and listening to her dad like hallucinate and like talk
Be all
crazy because
manic.
he's
Give me that
on
tansy.
lots of milk of the puppy. Oh my god, I did not even mean to milk of the poppy.
Milk of
Not
the
milk of the puppy.
That's
That's our
so cute.
That's what our friend Bobby calls it.
It's like, why do they give him puppy milk?
Yeah, he did not get that for a good while on the show.
So who's this Tansy character
Yeah, what the
that
heck?
he keeps asking?
Oh, I
for?
wonder.
Helen's all like, oh my god, like maybe that was like a serving girl. Like, I'm gonna find out. And so she's like asking the maester that comes to check on her dad, like, hey man, you ever heard of a Tansy before? And he's like, stop talking to me. I'll find out for you. He like feels bad for her. She's not supposed. No one's supposed to talk to her like at all, but they do a little.
She's
bit.
like in the
See,
Night's Watch,
I
but with a room.
I guess I might have a theory for who Tansy is, and I assume Tim and Jennifer know.
yeah.
Crump.
Do we? I don't know if Nick knows. Probably not, because he doesn't read websites.
I know
about
exactly. Like
Game of
it's.
Thrones.
Well, we don't.
What?
No. We know what
I
like
know
makes
exactly
the most.
what it's about.
You know
Well,
what the theory is.
Well, there are many unreliable narrators in the Game of Thrones, and the one that's
Should we-
connected
There's
to
only
this is
one
one of the
unreliable
worst.
narrator, and that's George R. R. Martin.
Yeah.
Should we do a quick spoiler thing?
I
at the
think we
end?
should.
Oh,
So
I
we
think
can-
it's
or
been
I
very
can ask
popular.
who Tansy is.
Yeah, 'cause I
Just
can-
for 50s.
Yeah.
I keep getting Tansy mixed up because I read J.K. Rowling's new book, and there's a tansy in there
confusing.
as well.
They also have tansy tea, which
Tansy
is what
tea?
kills babbies.
Yeah.
Wait.
So Catelyn's like all locked up in her dad's room. She can go out on the little balcony, and they haven't told her she can't go onto the roof, so she goes onto the roof. And
essentially her punishment is they send her to her room.
Yeah, pretty much.
A room.
Yeah,
Her
to
dad's
a room,
room.
and she just hangs out with her dad, who is pretty much not aware of things.
He's just in pain. And...
He's pretty much the life of the party when it comes to Catelyn.
Oh, it's so sad.
But she still is like, my place with my father, not my children who are dead.
Well, now she's kind of can't do anything else because they make her stay there.
Yeah, she's crazy.
They're not going to let her go back to Winterfell. Well, she can't go to Winterfell for a couple reasons at this point.
And she thinks Bran and Rickon are dead.
One, it's not there.
It's all burnt down. But Catelyn is waiting to see if the boat comes back because she knows they sent a boat out after Jaime.
Yes.
She's just like kind of waiting on the balcony, being like, "Crap, I hope that boat doesn't come back."
It's like, run.
And they keep not coming back. But she also sees a raven come in, and she's like, "Oh shit! Dark wings, dark words. Seems bad." And she finally gets.
Do they send good words on like doves?
Those white ones.
I think
they talk about winter,
which is actually bad. But I think the idea is it's Westeros. Nothing good happens. So there's
nothing good comes in the mail.
The closest
a raven, just more bills.
The closest you get is like, I have to go to a wedding. This is gonna suck. I have to see everyone I hate and might try to kill me.
I don't understand how they can be like, I gotta go to a wedding, gotta take off work for 4 months. Yeah,
I'll leave my Castellan.
Well, they don't really.
My viceroy in charge.
They don't really do work.
Like,
that's true.
Nobody works.
Exactly.
Like, how does their Walmart stay open?
It's a feudal society.
Yeah, they just work off their peasants.
Yeah, they got the serfs down there, and just small folk.
God,
being small folk, you just get fucked up.
Sounds terrible. I want to be.
Is this how it is to live in England?
Yeah.
Is this what it's like?
It's just like that. So Catelyn talks to Maester Vyman, and she weasels the news from the Raven out of him, which is that Robb has taken an injury when he was storming the crag.
No, the aggro crag, right?
Yes.
But it's not serious.
Yeah.
Hopefully he doesn't meet a hot nurse that, makes him break his vows and ruin his whole chances.
So that's gonna be like the first weird thing that's gonna happen. That's like the biggest difference in the book.
Yeah.
And obviously we're gonna do the entire book, so then there's gonna be a part where they haven't done the show's part yet. Yep. So it's be like, oh. So
sad. But I feel like Catelyn's still kind of freaking out, even though he's like, oh, Robb's fine, it's not that big a deal. But she's like, oh, my children, they're all dead and
my father.
Oh, my dad, everybody's
father, it's me, Tansy. Yeah. She's like, shut up. No, you're not Tansy.
What are you talking about?
You're not Catelyn. I know that for sure.
Oh yeah, but the guy, Maester Vyman does get back to her, and he's like, yeah, there is nobody named Tansy. There has not been anybody.
It might have been this turnip lady. I don't remember what type of lady she is. I remember turnip.
She's like, no, that was Violet, you dipshit.
Yeah, you dumbass.
Fucking hate you.
So Catelyn does some real mental gymnastics to figure out what's going on here. I don't even know if I can fully explain the way her brain process worked, but what she came up with was that because her dad, in addition to saying Tansy also says you'll have many trueborn sons, and she's like, what the heck? What are you talking about? And
I remember I looked up what Tansy. I know.
And so then she's like, oh, I see. He's talking about my sister Eliza,
right?
And that she must have gotten pregnant, and he made her get rid of that pregnancy, so that she would marry Jon Arryn.
Right, and then it makes sense because her sister's so unhappy, and when she gave him Robb to hold, she was like, ew,
yuck.
Well, she was just sad because when they they both got married. So Liza and Jon Arryn, and then Catelyn and Ned got married on the same day, and
did they?
Yeah, same ceremony. And then
talk about drama.
Super weird. And so Jon Arryn and Ned go off to war a month later. And they're like, "Yay, we missed our period! Sweet, we were so pregnant."
Dope.
But then Liza was not actually pregnant.
Yeah. She's just being a copycat.
No, I think she probably had a miscarriage. Is what I understood.
Right.
She had lots of miscarriages. She had five miscarriages.
Nick, your video's gone BET dubs.
Oh, I know.
Oh.
I turned it off for a second.
For secret.
Oh, you getting naked?
Getting nude.
Huh?
No.
How rude and nude are you?
How rude.
But, like, let's talk about how sad this Jon Arryn Lysa situation is, though, because Jon Arryn has... here's the thing. He has no heirs. So he needs to...
Can't we talk about happy things?
Jon Arryn is like the Gregor Clegane of boring your wives to death in childbirth.
Apparently, he had 2 wives that died without giving him heirs before, and so he really has got to get an heir. So it works out that Lysa has been pregnant, because, like, see, she can totally get pregnant. Sweet. But Jon Arryn's like, I mean, that's great, but you're giving me these used goods.
Yeah.
And
but it's like a used BMW. Like it's good to go.
Which, I mean, I'm saying this and like that's an awful way to look at things, but that's how it is in the book. But Hoster Tully is like, cool, I know you don't necessarily want my daughter, but I'm not going to help you in Robert's Rebellion unless you marry my daughter.
Right. So that's why they're able to get a better match.
Right. Like, it worked. It's a win-win for everyone except for Lysa.
Yeah.
Basically.
Guys, who got Lysa pregnant in the first place?
Oh my god.
I don't even know.
Oh, stay tuned
we'll
until
talk
after
about
the music. And we'll talk about it in spoilers.
Do you think they called it Robert's Rebellion during the rebellion, or do you think they just called it the Rebellion?
They probably just called it the Rebellion.
They call it the Rebellion. It's not like a World War I and World War II situation.
Right.
It's like, you know. Well, they probably call
So Edmure comes back, and he's really mad about Catelyn releasing Jaime because Jaime was under his charge and all that junk.
And this actually was this is a little different for book Edmure versus show Edmure. Is he's legitimately mad and he has a real reason and he's not an F-up. Yeah. And he's won like big battles for his people. He might have lost a lot of people, but he's been doing pretty good.
Yeah. He's not as much of a dumb shit in the books.
Bad.
So,
that's a weird bird.
Yeah, man, screeching birds in the background. So Edmure is super pissed.
I don't even know if that's a joke or not.
Probably not. Edmure sends out ravens to be like, please help me get my prisoner back. And Catelyn's like, shit, this ruins everything. Because, like, maybe they could have made it to King's Landing if no one knew that Jaime was escaped. But now,
they're going to get to, like, Sir Warren's tower house, and he's going to get him.
What the fuck did she think they were going to do?
Yeah,
I don't know.
She's desperate. She has no children.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm going to go break this chapter. It's getting down to 80 seconds.
I hate this.
What can you do?
So that's it for Catelyn, that chapter. And
let's talk about Arya then. What do you say?
Arya Stark?
Yeah, she's my...
Yeah, Arya Stark, chapter 1.
Winterfell?
Yeah.
She's like my favorite Stark.
With best friends, Hot Pie and Gendry.
Oh my god, they're like a fabulous trio together on the road. So, Arya... Last we saw Arya, Gendry, and Hot Pie, they were at Harrenhal and they escaped. Arya killed a dude. Maybe more than one. I can't remember, to be honest with you.
One. She's still
just the one guy. It is interesting because they kind of did this scene in the show, I realized, where in the show when Arya was with the Hound and she did the whole, oh, look at those, like, asshole Lannister guys. I'm going to drop my coin and then I'm going to stab him. She did that, but at Harrenhal in the book. She dropped the coin. And
I'm glad they still kept it because it was like, I like this scene.
Yeah.
That's a good way to murder someone.
It is a good way to murder somebody.
I love how he's like, here's a special coin that you can show to people, and like you can come find me.
Stab him.
And she uses it as a distraction, like all the time.
Yeah, it's like, here's an assassin's coin. Use it for assassinating. Like, okay, here you go.
This coin looks really expensive. You can drop it on the ground. People try to pick it up.
There's no scramble for it.
Stab him.
We all know that Arya likes to use coins to kill.
Yes, we do.
She puts the coins on their eyes. It's her calling card.
Yeah. So they don't really know where they're going. They do know that they got to get away from Harrenhal and they got to go towards River Run. Arya, I'm assuming, is the only one that can read. Can Gendry read?
No.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
So Arya, I doubt it.
But he can do a little bit, maybe like numbers and stuff like that.
That makes sense.
Yeah, maybe like two swords, please.
He's like blown away.
Totally blown away. But even so, Arya's looking.
She's a witch.
If you throw her in the water and she floats, she's a witch.
No, it's if what floats a duck. Yeah. If she weighs the same as a
A
duck.
bridge. God.
Let's only talk about Monty Python.
Just like how Drunks and Dragons were not allowed to talk about Fast and the Furious, we should not be allowed to talk about the Monty Python. And
my favorite part about that bit is that she does weigh the same as a duck.
She does, yeah.
She weighs the same as the duck when they weigh her.
Well, she was a witch.
Duh, of course.
So she's a
That's
witch.
how it works.
I mean, it's science.
So Arya can kind of read the map, but not like super. It's just hard. She doesn't know like what river they're looking at.
Right, because
Right.
they don't have signs up,
Exactly. So
because
it's like one of the little tributaries that's going into the Trident, but she doesn't know exactly which
Did
one.
Tie
it
the
is.
Hand be like, she's probably here?
I don't think so. Well, they might have actually. I can go check.
Well, it kind of seems like she knows. She's like, there's like a bunch of little rivers, and they do come across a bunch of little
Well, the
rivers,
issue is
so.
that she might be literally going in circles.
yeah, she has
Well,
no
she's
idea.
following the moss on the tree.
And then Gendry's like, check it. Moss every which way on this mug.
There's moss all the
This
tree.
tree doesn't have any moss. This one has moss on 37.
The write-up on Tower of the Hand for this chapter is like 3 sentences. I don't know why it's so short. It's very strange to me. I do not get it.
Kind
Some,
of-
some of the
Well,
chapters have
there's
like
not a lot of. There's a lot of flavor stuff, but there's nothing really that.
yeah.
Crucial.
They just don't know exactly where they are, and they're just gonna keep heading towards where they think River Run is gonna be.
Right. And they're having an unhappy time.
Yeah.
Hot Pie's legs are chafing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Gendry's are too, but
Gendry.
Gendry doesn't want to admit it.
He's too stubborn.
Right. Gendry falls off the horse at one point,
he does.
but then he gets back
Oh,
on.
he's so cute. I love him. I love
Yeah, and
Gendry.
then,
And Arya's like, oh, they don't know how to ride horses because they grew up
And they
poor.
they finally stop, and Hot Pie falls asleep mid cheese bite.
yeah, and
just got
Arya's like, what, you already asleep? What, or I guess we'll stop, okay. And it's like, you've been asleep in your horse for like a minute.
Like, your horses are going in
Yeah.
a circle.
Yeah.
She's like, no.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know-
I think the horse is going in a circle eating.
Yeah, the only
grass.
reason we knew, we just thought you were being kooky.
Yeah.
And we're afraid of you.
Yeah, we. Oh, they kooky are you going in a circle?
I do have, you know what, I really understand Hot Pie, though, because, maybe I've fallen asleep with the cheese bite in my mouth. Or that's how I want to fall asleep, like, every night. It sounds pretty good to me.
Have you guys ever been on a horse?
Yeah.
I have been on a horse.
It's been a million years.
I've been on a horse like once when I was really little, and it was scary as shit because that horse is huge.
Horses are terrifying creatures.
No, they're big. They're big
And
and
they-
scary.
I've had a horse charge me.
Oh, that sounds very scary. Oh, my parents live in the country, and there's
Which country?
no, like in the rural area, in the
The old
mountains.
country.
And behind their house, people that we know have horses, and we will sometimes go out there and pet them and give them apples and carrots and things. And guys, their eyes are so scary. I don't like them. They're giant.
Do you know
Why
how
are their
big a
eyeballs
horse's
so
eye
big?
is?
They're so
No one
big.
does.
And the flies just like sit on their eyeballs. They don't even like care that much about
Yeah,
it.
they
they
drink the water
Oh,
from
it's
it.
so gross. I hate it. Ugh.
Guys, horses are nice. Don't be jerks.
No, but their
Have
eyeballs.
you have not met a horse lately. They have gotten bitter.
They're so mad.
They jealously want the
Here's
internet.
a picture
Oh!
of Owen on a giant war horse
What?
at the Renaissance
Oh my gosh.
Festival.
Alright, I take it back. I take everything
Hold
back.
on, I need to pull up
So
mine.
you guys need to stop being such a bunch of wusses about horses.
Guys.
Where did you put that picture?
I just held it up on my phone.
It was real good
Oh,
quality.
I missed it.
Hey man,
Hold it
we're a
back up.
high quality technical podcast. Everyone hold your phones up to the cameras. Also, I'm periodically
I can't.
clicking on and off
I
between
will-
Jennifer and I's video because it's not showing up because it doesn't show your video when you talk in Google Hangout.
Yeah.
Mm.
Sorry, I know you want to see our beautiful faces, so.
Okay, was he scared though? Was Owen scared when he was
Does
on
he
the
look
horse?
scared to
Those
you?
things
He
loving
looks pretty
life.
scared.
You guys can't even
Hold-
see this picture.
All right, there you go.
This is Thrifty's son on a horse.
He looks
looking
like
like a badass.
he looks okay. He's like, this is cool.
Guys, we should
Wow.
probably talk about Arya some more since there's
Who?
like one more thing.
All I'm saying is the horse I was on was not like being held down, so it was I had the right to be scared. It was
That's understandable.
moving.
Oh sure.
Guys,
He was moving around and
Do you know
jumping.
what else should be scared? The
It's
Oh,
fine.
fine.
The bloody
Whatever.
mummers.
the members of the Brave Companions, because you know why? Because Nymeria and her wolves are about to.
Oh,
attack
this
them.
is dope as fuck.
It's really good. So
So Arya has a dream. Obviously, it's a wolf dream.
Wolf dream.
Yeah,
She doesn't even know she's
she has
doing
no
it,
idea. She
but
just
she's
thinks
like,
it's just a dream.
dream.
But we know.
This is a great
But we
dream.
know because Bran is doing wolf dreams that we can assume it's probably also a wolf dream for Arya.
right, because she's clearly having the exact kind of
Right.
dream that Bran would have,
And-
and she's totally in her own wolf, which she's probably like half a mile away and
oh, it's
doesn't
so
even know.
sad.
Doesn't that make you angry?
hate
It
it.
makes me angry.
Well, maybe Nymeria is following her.
Maybe she is just watching out for her. And she does watch out for her because she totally kills. I'm assuming that the Brave Companions are out looking for them.
Yes.
And
Right.
Nymeria and her wolves totally kill all 4 of them.
Yeah.
So, danger averted. Thanks.
Nymeria yanks one of the guy's arms off.
Yeah. she's just the baddest ass little wolf.
It's the way they describe it. It just pops right off.
Well, if you yank hard enough, it happens.
It's like a doll.
And she's just exalted as she shakes it around, spraying
blood
everywhere.
I did it.
I feel like there is a mistake because this chapter is ranked 79th out of 82, and that's some bullshit because that wolf dream is really badass.
The wolf dream is cool.
Whoever ranked that, you're wrong.
This is a fun chapter.
wrong.
It's short, but it's fun.
I think it literally doesn't go anywhere because
So?
they're just kind
It's
of
wolf
like
dream.
wandering. I get that sort of, but there's so much cool stuff that happens. It's Arya's first real wolf dream.
Yeah. Well,
She doesn't know what he's doing. Just like Jon Snow last book.
Yeah.
Guys, let's talk about Tyrion.
Tyrion. What the fuck happened last season? He was in the fight, and then he was getting attacked, and then he blacked out, and that was it.
He saw Vanden Moore's fishy eyes staring at him.
Well,
He got his nose chopped off.
that's because Vanden Moore is a fish, part of the Merlin King,
he's
which
a
will come up
merman.
later. And he was very angry that Tyrion lit the water on fire and killed so many fish, so he tried to kill Tyrion.
Yeah, that's
Duh.
Mermaids.
The Merlin King theory.
Guys, I don't.
Obvious.
If for some reason you're reading Storm Wars for the first time and you've watched the TV show, Tyrion's face situation is a lot more messed up in the book.
Even from the beginning, before the cut.
That's true. He's a lot less Peter Dinklage looking in the book. He is not very attractive. And
He's an
and
Uggo.
also half his nose is chopped off.
Harsh.
Like, it is bad. It is really bad.
Right. It's like, he has like 3 nostrils, like one in the front, like 2 in the
He
bottom.
can breathe like every direction.
Pretty rough.
Basically, he becomes like a super good runner because he gets really good
Yeah.
airflow.
So, like, keep that in mind when certain things happen later. It's like, maybe...
The really good runner part,
Oh, no.
When he runs really fast.
Yeah.
because he has like an air scoop.
But the real problem is his face is super messed. But the other problem is that he has a really bad injury on his shoulder.
Yeah.
That's like still full of pus and like super messed
Yeah,
up.
like part of his face scar is badass as hell, but his shoulder scar is just gross and hurty.
And he's been like knocked out for a while, like for weeks. I'm assuming.
Right.
He's been like in and out of consciousness for at least 2 weeks.
And he's all like, "Bron, why didn't you come to see me?" And Bron's like, I did come to see you like
Yo, nerd,
several times.
I've been
You
here
were
like 9
super
times."
asleep, so
Yeah.
shut up.
We drew all. I mean, there was like no room left on your face to draw penises.
Yeah, it's
so
all gone. Especially now with your
I got
nose half
bored.
gone, that like takes some of the space away. So Tyrion kind of fills Bron in on what has been happening while he's been asleep. And number one, Bron is now Sir Bron of the Blackwater,
Oh.
thanks to Tywin Lannister. And Tyrion's already like, I
Yeah.
don't like that my dad gave you that title. This seems bad.
Ruh-roh.
All of Tyrion's sellswords are gone, pretty much.
Everybody's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kevin Lannister like paid all them off, and like all the mountain people are like the one of them's in the woods.
Yeah, I think Chaga decided to stay in the woods and just chill.
He loves the Kingswood. He's just hanging out there.
That's where he's, bountying,
and they like
killing.
they chase Chell away.
Chill's like, I'm coming back. And,
and
like,
they're
no.
like, "You're not." Yeah, Timot's in the mountains
also,
and Shaga's in the woods. Yeah, that's what's happening.
And they got rid of his gold cloak.
Yeah.
Head of the
Well,
gold
he got
cloak
murdered.
guy,
But yeah, he got
Jacelyn.
killed.
Yeah, he got
In the
killed
battle.
in the battle.
So it used to be Jacelyn Bywater, Jacelyn.
The Iron Hand man.
Jacelyn.
Guys, there are
I
so
think.
many people's names in these books. Like,
Why are there so
good
many
lord. But now it's Adam Warbrad, and Tyrion's like, he's pretty, he's fine, he's whatever. People like him.
Not my first
He's
choice.
like, I think it's one of those things where it's like, damn it, my enemy made a good choice. I
Yeah.
cannot exploit him.
Yeah,
Basically, this guy just has
He also-
charisma.
yeah.
He also doesn't have Tommen anymore.
Oh yeah, because
Yeah.
Tommen got brought back to King's Landing.
And the Kettle Blacks went over to Cersei's
Right.
side.
But
So-
we can kind of see that happening last book.
So all that like 2 weeks out of commission, and he is like so
I
many
think
steps down
it's
the
probably
ladder.
longer. It's probably longer than 2 weeks. I think they were saying he was out of danger for 2
Okay,
weeks.
that makes
Right,
sense.
that's
Oh,
when
that makes
yeah,
sense.
Tywin.
I would say he was maybe in danger for maybe a week, maybe a couple days, because if he didn't get out of that danger zone in a couple days, he'd probably be dead.
I guess I don't know, but considering some other things that have happened, I could see it being a little while since.
Wasn't he in the morgue for like a day? Or wherever he was?
Oh
His-
yeah, they did pull him
I
out
think
from all
he's
the
in a
corpses.
pile of
Yeah,
God, I
corpses.
hate that you guys told me that. I did not read it that way.
forgot about-
It's gross and
Yeah.
you're terrible.
Well,
What?
I didn't want to know
Really?
that.
the thing is, if you want to be happy, you shouldn't be reading Game of Thrones anyway.
Dark,
So
dark pages, dark words.
get over it. gonna be all right.
The other thing that happened is Cersei released Arya, and she was whipped.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought they killed her, didn't
No, she
Nah,
just
they just whipped her.
which is still bad.
And then they made her walk naked in the streets back to
her
Chataya's or whatever.
Her house. It's really sad. And
Chataya's.
like Tyrion's like, dang it, like that girl didn't even do anything at all, and it's all my fault this happened to her.
Right. Well, I guess they have to whip the crap out of Tommen, and then that's when he finds out that Tommen's gone. He's like, well, that's convenient.
Oh. So Tyrion's like, all right, buddies, help me get up. I gotta go talk to my dad. So he hollers for Pod, and Pod comes in and helps. They try to help him get dressed, but he's having a rough time. And I think they end up just putting like a robe on him.
I think they just put like a bag over
or something
him.
because he can't move. Like his arm's super messed up.
Yeah.
So I think he does put on like pants and boots, but he can't get like a real shirt over him. So he puts like a bathrobe on
Right.
to go talk to his dad. And like Bronn ends up carrying him up some steps because he can't walk so good.
Yeah, he's like, I'm gonna have to swallow this pride. Turn it inside out, find nothing but faith in nothing. And then Bronn carries him up. That's a
What was that little song? Was that a Christian
Eve
song?
6. You guys remember Eve 6?
Oh Lord!
I will swallow my pride and the black. Oh, okay.
Tim,
We'll get arrested
Keep
for
singing.
this. Actually, I don't think we're allowed to do that because if it's monetized. Anyways,
Oh,
because of thing.
good Lord!
Because it's what?
Because it's on YouTube. I don't think we're allowed to.
Oh.
I don't think we're allowed to sing at all.
I think you can do 30
Yeah,
seconds.
I think,
It's
okay.
you know what, Tim? I don't think anyone can even recognize what that song was.
Everyone
from
knew
you
what I was
singing.
saying.
I don't know.
You like the only thing Eve 6 has going for them now is suing YouTubers.
That's pretty.
Oh.
They gotta reinvent themselves.
I think they're on Eve 9 now.
Yeah, at least.
They really went downhill after Eve 7.
God. So Tyrion goes to see his daddy, and his daddy is mad.
Papa!
Papa's in a bad mood.
I'm very sick.
Yeah.
Do you know why Papa's in a bad mood? Because they cannot find Tyrion Lannister.
Oh my god, Tyrek.
Tyrek?
I say Tyrek.
Lannister.
It's
That sounds
not-
like,
it's close
he sounds
to
like a Vulcan.
dinosaur.
That sounds like a super
He
Vulcan
does.
name.
So far,
It sounds like a really good brand of spandex.
Tyrek?
Mm-hmm.
Tyrek?
Tyvek is what you're thinking of. Tyvek.
No,
the wallet?
Tyrek is.
I think you're thinking of Tuvok. That's a...
I think you're thinking of Shut Up.
I think you're thinking of this.
Oh, that's
and
a middle
this,
finger. Oh,
and one of
punches.
these. These are my muscles and your face.
I have a wallet made out of Tyvek, which is like a paper material.
Tyrek Lannister was the dude that disappeared
In...
and the riot.
Yeah.
And you might know him as the wet nurse because he married someone that either
To
was
Babby.
not alive yet or was.
Oh,
Just-
right.
It was like
so
an
this
infant.
is when she's the youngest widow ever.
Yeah. Because he
Or no, they say she's the first widow that hasn't been weaned
Right,
yet.
exactly. 'Cause
Guys,
they
that's
just, like,
both
married her off.
illusion and disgusting.
Yes.
That would suck if that marriage like actually continued because like you're like, hey, you're growing up, and
married.
by the way, this is your husband, and then she's like, what does that mean?
What's a husband? It's just like freaking Twilight, where it's like, "Hi, I imprinted on this baby." It's just like that.
Don't tell
That's
me
some
about-
fucked up shit.
Don't tell me about Twilight. Yeah, and the whole time, it's like slowly opening up a present. It's like, is she gonna be hot?
Oh, stop! I
She's
thought we were
off-
done talking about this. No more. I'm done. I'm done with it now. Tywin is super mad, and Tyrion is also mad. And he's like, "Dad, why aren't you like congratulating me and thanking me for all of the stuff that I did to help win that battle?"
Yeah.
And Tywin's just like shrugged.
WIN,
I do
not WEN.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
yes.
goes into like he says that like the wildfire was Cersei's.
Yeah.
Like,
That's not
barely.
true, is
Well,
it?
she
Cersei,
started it.
Cersei started the
She didn't really.
wildfire.
She would not have been able to concoct the plan that Tyrion did because
Yes.
she can't like see that far ahead. I don't think.
Tyrion wrangled
Like
that shit.
Tyrion got the guys training on it with the green paint and shit.
Yeah, he got the paintballers
Like,
to
he
go.
was deep in
But-
that.
Tyrion definitely does more than Tywin
Well,
gives him.
yeah, more than Tywin gives him credit for. But Tywin also
But
did
then
a lot
Yes.
with his van.
He did,
you know?
but Tywin like acknowledges like the chain and all that, but then just like downplays it, like, "Oh, that was good, but whatever."
like he's never.
Our army is really what saved your ass.
I mean, that's the thing. Like Tywin Lannister is never gonna like give anyone the amount of praise they think they deserve.
Right. Let us not
Never.
forget he's a dick.
Right.
He's not gonna do that.
Mhm.
Like even with like granted, we haven't seen this in the books as much, but like even in the show, like with Jaime and Cersei, he's the same way with them. Like he's just like an asshole.
Yeah.
He's never gonna do that. And Tyrion's upset about that, but what he's really like the root of all this is that he should be the heir to Casterly Rock, not Jaime, because Jaime is a member of the Kingsguard, and you cannot inherit land. And Tyrion's like, well, what the heck, Dad? Like, I should be the heir. And Tywin's like, no.
How dare you ask me this of me?
He's like, I want you to publicly acknowledge that I'm your son and the heir to Casterly Rock.
And Tywin's like, fuck
yeah. And this is when we get the old, like, fucked up, you killed your mother.
And the speech is extremely similar to what it is in the show. Like, I think it's like 1 for 1.
Well, doesn't in the show, doesn't he say something about wanting to, take Tyrion into the ocean and drop him in or something?
Yeah, I don't know if that's in
I thought that was in the book too, but maybe
it's later. Maybe it's some other time.
I could see Tywin oftentimes telling Tyrion he wants to kill him.
Or telling anyone that he wants to kill them.
I don't like you.
I hate you. I don't want to drop you in the ocean forever.
Why didn't he just like, instead of like killing him, just like pawn him off on somebody? I don't get why he kept him.
He's a Lannister.
Yeah, but
still his family. He
I don't
can't prove it's not
understand
his.
Tywin's like sense of honor. I don't.
He's
like,
goofy.
I'm gonna break the rules of the kingdom by letting my Kingsguard son be my heir, but I can't break this rule and kill my son that I.
Well, is he even saying that? He probably wants him to go to like Tommen or something.
He isn't saying it. I mean, he doesn't say that specifically. I think he's still trying to work it out.
I think the idea is
Tywin
doesn't think that he's ever gonna die. So
I will never die. So
also, like, I think he's like gonna make, he wants Jaime to like quit the Kingsguard, and because his grandson is the king, he can be like, let Jaime leave the Kingsguard so he can be the heir and blah blah blah, and he. If everything goes right, that could happen.
Yeah, I'm sure he can finagle it in some way. All that to say, in the end, Tyrion definitely is not the heir of Casterly Rock, and so he's pretty upset about that.
No,
that's the takeaway.
And Tywin says like you're like what does he call him? Something about a demon monkey, maybe.
Something like that. A twisted little monkey, something.
Yeah,
a twisted little monkey with low cunning and he's like, he's not going to let him turn Casterly Rock into a whorehouse, which is when it occurs to Tyrion that, you had Alayaya beaten.
Not Cersei. Yeah.
Damn.
And Tywin's like, yeah, I did. And if I find you with another prostitute, I'm going to hang her.
Yeah.
Well, and he would totally do it.
Yeah.
Like, no question.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Tywin's the worst.
I don't understand why he cares so much.
I don't get it either. I do not get it at all.
Because there's definitely a thing. It's like his dad was big into the ladies or something.
Right.
Yeah.
Anyway,
there's a whole thing.
Let's move on.
Also, he loves his wife so much.
This episode's gone long.
It is.
Davos won.
Guys, we didn't even know what happened to Davos at the end of the last.
Was like, he's probably dead.
Right.
But guess what? He's super not dead. Well,
he's
not dead.
He's barely
alive. Yeah, so basically he swam under the chain.
Yes.
And he was like, I might come up from the water and be in the wildfire. I don't know how this is going to work. And he swam and swam, and I think he didn't even know.
He didn't know.
He like passed out, I think, and he washed up, and he was on this rock.
His little...
Something like grabbed at his leg when he was swimming underneath.
Oh, it was
chain.
Mermaid!
A mermaid.
Pretty sure it was a mermaid.
Probably a mermaid.
Or somebody drowning.
Or a drowning person.
Maybe a mermaid.
You know what? Just jump to the most obvious conclusion. It was a mermaid.
It's not Occam's razor, this mess.
Exactly. Yeah. No, let's Occam's razor in this mess. It's definitely a mermaid.
So did you guys hear that story about that kid who was locked up by the DEA for 3 days without water, and then he like drank his own pee?
That's exactly what I was thinking of when I was reading this.
Yep, that's what I was thinking.
Did you guys hear about this?
No.
So this kid got locked in a cell by the DEA, and they forgot about him for 4 days.
What?
4 days, and he was chained. Or he wasn't chained, but he was locked. Locked in a cell.
He had handcuffs on.
Yeah, that's what it was.
He had handcuffs on, but I don't think there was a toilet in there.
No, there was nothing.
Because otherwise he could have drank toilet water.
Yeah, so he had he peed on the bench and then like licked his pee, so he didn't die.
God.
Yeah.
But he was like obviously like super hallucinating, except by the time they actually found him, like 4 days. That was only 4 days.
Yeah, how long ago was this?
Like just recently, like last week.
The verdict just came out.
He's gonna get $10 billion. That's not that much.
I feel like
$4.1 million is pretty
Kinda
good.
Yeah, but
money.
they get like ridiculous. I think like,
Anyway, that's exactly what I was thinking when I was reading this too, because I was like, that was only 4 days. How long has Davos been out here? And he at least got some like rainwater and some like a couple of crabs to eat on.
Yeah.
Right.
But
Yummed
but
on
I
some
think that
crab.
Davos was out there for like
Weeks.
longer than 4 days.
He was a good while, and he was
weeks.
tired from the fight, and he hasn't had a shower in days, and his hair was all greasy.
And he has like no protection from the rain. Like there's a little bit of a cave, but it's still like
yeah, it's like
not-
his hovel,
So
his lean-to,
And he lost his finger bones.
and he lost his luck,
which is his luck.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's so sad. So he's hallucinating while he's on this rock, which is totally understandable.
no, he's not.
He has a vision.
Exactly.
He has a. You're right. How dare I? That is
How dare
unfair.
you.
I mean, to call it hallucinating. He has a vision of the seven.
The Seven finally show themselves in this GD series, and you tell them they're not even
and
real.
it just happens to be to a dude that's like totally like whacked out because he's not had water or food for days. Makes sense.
It's just like it was in the Bible, same
Done.
thing.
What exactly is this in this back? I remember that he had some sort of freaky vision, but I don't remember what was.
It's basically like, you killed us, you burned us.
Why'd you do that?
Why'd you burn us?
Because Davos
Yeah.
let Stannis
Just-
and Melisandre burn the statues of the seven, and
Just because we're gods don't mean we don't feel pain.
We just feel it for longer.
they're back and they're pissed.
Yeah, and he basically from that moment gets a way to survive because he's like, I'm
"Oh,
gonna kill Melisandre.
Yeah, I'm gonna get revenge. That's what's gonna happen right now.
And then the gods grant him a
I
ship.
do. He sees a ship far away, and the first thought he has is, maybe I'll just let it go by and I'll just die.
Yeah, that would be
But
nice.
then he summons the energy and climbs up his little rock and like yells and like waves.
Like, what up, bros? But the big thing is like, hey man, are these? What if they're King's Landing or people? Or
Yeah,
what?
like who are these people? Like what side are they on?
It's really smart. They come up, they drop a little rowboat,
Little
and they
dinghy.
come up to him, and a little dinghy, and they come up to him and they say, "Oh, which king do you fight for?" And he just basically I think he deliberates in his head like, "Oh shit, which one am I gonna say?"
Yeah. And then he notices though that the ship is like a Lyseni's ship, which is Salador San's people.
It's
So
much
he's
more tense in the show.
Yeah,
He's
because
like, I don't know who these people are.
Yeah, he has no idea.
But
He's
he's like, I'm pretty sure these are Salador San's people.
yeah,
Right.
and he's right. Luckily, and he says you're Stannis, and they're like, "Sweet, get on our boat."
Get on our boat. I
So
love
Davos is
you.
saved.
And that's
And that's the end.
Yeah.
the end.
It's the end of our book club, y'all.
Book Club episode 1.
Do we have probably some feedback?
Yeah, I'll read a few of these
Sam?
feedbacks, and then I'll save some of the other feedbacks for next week. But
No, I already split them up.
damn, we have a lot. Okay, let's go. We haven't recorded for 2 years, so it happens. All right, from Delicious. Oh, here's a review factoid. Our least popular country is France. France. We have one review, and it's 2
France.
stars. We're
the
not
heck?
very big in France.
Come on, because it's good. Is it like they do not speak in French?
That's true.
Too
That's gonna help.
What is this podcast not in French?
Where's my wine?
I'm gonna go eat this bread.
Let me open up my window betterer and put. Sorry. So Jamie Swordhand says, by far my favorite podcast, Game of Thrones or otherwise. Butt Stuff for Life says, best A Song of Fire and Ice Game
That's a
of
great
Thrones
username.
podcast out there. And then they just say Hodor 48 times. But I almost can see like a code within inside their Hodors that makes me want to stab people. Mama Lisa says, Dire Donkey approved. I picked up the first season of the show at the library, and now I'm ridiculously addicted. After listening to all the podcasts, after each episode, I have just started reading the book with your book club podcast as well. Well, you're in luck. Here's another one. You make me smile, and I'm completely taken with the show book podcast. Thanks. No, thank you. I need to make the camera so it's pointing on my beautiful face.
Oh, that's so beautiful.
Crash Test Sherry says, a fine pod crafted by unjumped jackanapes. How dare you? Meets It from the United States says, the best out there. River Tam. Oh, that's interesting. Hilarious, feminist, aware, and lighthearted. Thank you. Tom R says, great podcast. Pinoy Cold Warrior says, my first podcast and still one of my favorites. Test. JT Jeezy says, Brian and Pattaya forever. Great pod. Fun place to get my spoilery needs out after hanging out with friends who haven't finished the books. Keep up the good work. X-Men 141 says, love it. My favorite Game of Thrones podcast by far.
Oh, that's not what it says.
Oh.
That was a Tim joke.
That was just a little,
little toilet
you
humor
ruined
for you.
it.
toilet humor for you guys.
Tim, you goof.
Guys, shit.
That's it.
That's
it.
Wait,
then
wait.
we'll have,
We have a little tiny baby spoiler section at the end.
how are we gonna do this?
Yeah, we're gonna have a little baby spoiler section. We're gonna do some music, and then we'll have some spoilers. So like, hey, castofthrones.com.
Yeah.
Oh, and more importantly, Geekly Inc. Subscribe to our YouTube channel,
Yeah.
where you can either be watching this right now, or you can watch it in the past and watch all sorts of crazy SHIT that we're gonna do.
Yeah, like Tim and I are doing playthroughs of The Walking Dead 400 Days, and that's been really fun. So,
And like, you get to if you watch the live broadcast, and you get to see 2 episodes at once.
Whoa! It's crazy.
It's crazy,
we'll do
y'all.
another one. We'll do another one next month. Follow Cast of Thrones on Twitter or Geekly Inc. on Twitter, and we'll tell you when we're going to do our live broadcasts.
Right.
And then you can also follow each of us individually on Twitter. You can find me at Jennifer Cheek.
You can find me at Tim Lanning.
You can find me at R. Bristow.
And you can find me at Thriftinerd. I guess that's going to be it. Stay tuned after the music. We'll do some spoilers. Good night, and God bless. Keep riding that donkey.
And
So if you're in the chat room and you don't want to hear spoilers, you should leave now and come back later.
Yeah.
yeah,
These aren't
They're
spoilers
not
that'll make you
super
sad,
bad
though.
spoilers.
They're really not bad spoilers.
there's like
Oh,
if we're a
Davos.
podcast that won't say why Tyrion can do a backflip, so it's up there. It's bigger than that, but
Yeah,
you know.
it's definitely bigger than that.
So yeah, we'll tweet when we're restarting. We should probably even save the
The
video.
problem
I think.
is that when we got a lag, we got that lag.
Well, they're gonna hear it. They're still hearing this, so they'll go.
But when we tweet, it won't be like updated
I
yet.
see what you're saying.
So we need to tweet like halfway through the spoilers.
No, we need to tweet in like 30 minutes.
In like half an hour.
I
Anyway,
don't know.
okay, well, let's do
Okay.
spoilers real quick.
Spoilers.
Okay, we're in spoiler town.
The main
Spoilers.
spoiler.
Go away if you don't want spoilers.
Get.
The main spoiler is that section concerning the whole Tansy thing from Catelyn's point of view. And
Guys, who's Tansy?
Tansy's not a person. Tansy is
What?
Tansy is abortion medicine.
Oh, is that what
Yeah,
it is?
Tansy.
Tansy tea. It's,
Yeah,
it's
Tansy.
that morning. Well, no, it's not the morning after pill because that's not an abortion. It is like an abortifacient tea,
Right.
Old
which
style.
is different than moon tea, which is like the morning after.
Oh, really?
Yeah, moon tea.
How do you guys?
North
Has he said this? What's happening?
Because okay, so like in certain parts of the book, like okay, well this is spoiler section, so I can say whatever. So Asha Greyjoy, she has the sex with Carl the maid, and then she's like, I gotta brew myself some moon tea in the morning, like
Yeah.
right after. So that helps prevent it
Okay.
Mhm.
happening. But the
I think
tansy
it's
tea
weird
is
that-
abortion tea.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Neat.
Yeah, it's that the whole like they really go in depth with the whole, contraceptive.
I'm glad
kinda
they
shit.
do that though, because I always wonder about that sort of thing.
Yeah, so many
In
books.
Game of
But,
Thrones,
like,
and I always wonder about how they deal with menstruation, and they talk about that too. So I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Just
And
rats.
the other thing, did we ever talk about shit? What was I gonna say? Was there actual this kind of contraceptive in the medieval times when this took
When this
place?
actually happened?
There's definitely teas and things that there's herbs that work as an abortifacient. I think I'm saying that word right. I might not.
That's
be.
a fun word.
because
though.
no,
It
because
is abortification.
Yeah.
because there are still countries now where women can't get abortions, and there are resources online where they're like, look, now this is not like 100% guaranteed to work, but if you
Take some
this,
7
this,
Up, ground up some
No,
brown crayons
no,
in that
it's
biatch.
it's certain herbs. I forget what it is, but there are herbs that will work
Probably
that
thyme.
way. I don't think it's time.
But how effective are they?
They're like decent. Like
I'm
I would say
asking
like
for a friend.
75% effective. Like they're pretty good.
So if you just drink a whole heck
The
of a lot of
problem
it,
is that if you drink it and then it doesn't like flush out, that's the problem.
you got a mad.
Yeah.
Oh, you
fudged
gotta
up
like kind of
baby.
squish it around.
I'm gonna find this out for you
Guys,
guys right
this is
now.
gross, and I don't like talking about it.
You keep talking about
And the
yourself.
baby daddy is it's
Littlefinger.
It's Peter.
Obviously,
Littlefinger.
Batyr Baelish.
Yeah, well, the issue is that Littlefinger says that he's had sex with both Catelyn and Lysa Tully, but he's only had sex with Lysa, and
Right, he thinks he had sex with Catelyn.
How does
yeah,
that? Oh,
Grace
there
right.
is,
says
He was,
there
like,
is a
drunk or
theory
something?
that he doesn't know, and everything that he does is to get Catelyn back, and then to punish everyone for stuff. It's an interesting theory. I like it.
Guys, back to the abortion herbs
let's
and
do
things.
it.
Here's the thing, like basically what you're doing when you do that is you're poisoning yourself. So
Oh, yeah.
people, when we drink turpentine in their tea, tansy. Oh, tansy is a flower that's a natural insect repellent. It has toxic chemicals that kill intestinal parasites and was used in medieval Europe as a way to kill.
That's how I refer to babies as
Wow.
intestinal parasites.
So
Holy crap.
like this was like thoroughly researched by Jar Jar.
Yeah, Pennyroyal. That's the one I was thinking of.
Pennyroyal tea
Pennyroyal
from that
tea.
Nirvana song.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Should I stop
There's
drinking
actually
that?
an article on IO9 I'm looking at right now called "The Terrifying History of Herbal Abortion Medicines,"
Ugh.
and by Esther Ingles
Yikes.
Arkell. She's good. She's a good.
I don't
writer,
like
so if
the
you're
past.
interested in that.
I mean, it's pretty much the same thing like throwing yourself down the stairs, right? I mean,
Right, I
And
do it
there
all the
is a
time, but I
birth
can't
control
lose this
plant.
baby weight.
Because apparently the Romans like drove this plant to extinction that
Huh.
they used as a birth control.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's kind of
Silphium.
crazy.
What does that say about them?
It says that the same thing as any human. They want to have sex and not have babies.
I want to watch a Discovery Channel show about ancient contraceptive methods.
Ancient contraceptives and ancient lubes. That's like I am
Ancient
like the
lubes.
most.
Like-
I am the most interested in that. And
Ancient
like
Lube is my
dildos.
rapper name.
Ancient dildos and things. I love it. I love it.
I want to get my PhD in like ancient contraceptive history.
Now look, here's a moment where my actual graduate degree can come in a little bit handy. I took a class in grad school that it was just about like women in like ancient Christianity, but part of it I got to read ancient medical texts, and those are very interesting. Galen, he was a medical writer in the like early centuries, and there was a concept that the womb moved around, that it was like an animal inside of women.
yeah, that is what hysteria comes
Exactly.
from, which I learned from listening to Justin.
Oh, yeah,
Timberlake's
Sawbones. I need to listen to that.
podcast. Sawbones, it's really good.
And they would be like, okay, like if you feel like this, then your womb is too high, and so what you got to do is you got to put some stinky smelling at your head to drive it down,
Right.
or put something good smelling down at your feet to make the womb move down.
Guys, they're so stupid.
No, they just didn't know. They had no idea.
They're so stupid.
They didn't.
They sound real stupid.
But it was a really interesting class, so we got to talk about that a little bit.
Sound like big dum dums.
Yeah, man, ancient people are so
All right,
dumb.
everybody.
That's it.
We love you. If you're on the YouTubes, hang out because we're gonna do another one of these things. But until next week.
I don't even think we do a sign off for this part, do we?
That was rotten.
That's like a combo.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Thank you,
This milk is spoiled.
That was
Okay,
random.
Oh.
We'll take a quick break, you guys, and then we're gonna start episode 2.
So,
And hopefully we won't have technical difficulties.
Well, why would we,
if
right?
you don't touch anything, we should be good.
Yeah.
I think we can record for a total of 4 hours.
Oh, we're okay.
And we're at 1:45.
Alright.
Oh, we're so fine.
I'm gonna
Grab
go get
me.
some water. Be right back.
How far behind are we? Is there a way to make a delay? Like, get rid of how I make YouTube delay go bad? Jennifer to shut the door hard to the bathroom because she doesn't trust me. Smart!
Hi, Timifer.
Oh, hey, B. What's up? So right now there's a few things to deal with.
What's that?
The ridiculous delay.
Yeah.
The fact that I can't have our picture come up here.
Right.
Unless... I'm curious. No.
Aren't there other settings?
There's like one setting button, and it's like, hey, where do you want to come from?
I mean, obviously you and Jennifer are the pretty ones.
Right, so I should just leave it there, but that's obviously what I'm going to try to do regardless. Man, I want your cookie. Gimme.
I'm having a digestive biscuit. I'm way off my diet.
A digestive biscuit?
It's a British thing.
I don't get it.
It's just a cookie.
Is it in honor of the new Doctor Who?
Yeah.
I get that. But the quality seems fine enough, and I've no idea how to get that paper for this, but...
Well, with 19 people watching, we're getting a lot of paper. But
What?
we love those 19 people the most.
Yeah, get some water, B.
Gonna.
Let me finish this little...
That biscuit that I just ate is like the most opulent thing I've had in a week.
Jennifer, get me a digestive biscuit.
What does that mean?
That's what Thrifty's eating, and I want one.
I'm jealous.
So how's it feel to be back in the book club stirrups?
It's great.
So great.
Feels like I'm about to get one of those lady things
What?
where they pap smear. That's what it feels like.
What?
I just said stirrups. And then I'm gonna drop a digestive biscuit link into the chat
So,
for you.
I wonder if that means I'll see it in like 20 minutes. Is the chat crazy behind?
Well, no, I mean I just did it in Google Hangouts.
Oh. Let's go here. Digestive biscuit. Can we get sponsored by them?
It's just a cookie.
Why is it? But does it help you digest? Because is there ginger in it?
I don't know.
You're bad at this.
I'm terrible at it.
Digestive biscuit. It's a fun thing to say. I mean,
It is.
let's not even
I'm back.
get around there.
I just came back in here without water.
What's a digestive biscuit?
Look at the Wikipedia page. I put it in Google Hangouts.
But why? But why are you linking?
Why is this happening to me?
I was just eating one.
Oh, okay.
Oh, we're about to get mad.
What?
Are you guys playing Pikmin 3? Because it's awesome.
Is that no?
No one in the world has a Wii U except for you.
It's really good. Like,
You're the
I don't know
only
if it's
person who
just
has one
because
in the
it's the
world.
only game that come out in like months, but it's really good. I like it a lot.
I think you mean period.
It's the
Period?
first game.
Wait, I'm interested. You said period.
Oh, you're.
I don't think
we
there's
weren't
been
talking
a,
about menstruation.
Oh, I'm out.
I don't think there's been a Nintendo game in like an actual Nintendo game in months.
Are they making a
Or
new?
since the launch.
Make a new
really.
Luigi one?
It's the year of
Not for-
Luigi.
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right, guys,
Oh,
let's
that
get
was-
on this hog.
Yeah. Oh, gross.
Yeah, let's get this shit
Why would you
going.
say hog like that?
Cause I like to jump on that hog.
Ugh.
Get off that ant hog.
Such an ant hog.
Who's that on that hog? George Michael.
Should we just do it?
Yep.
Yep.
No.
Hello and welcome to Cast of Thrones, the Game of Thrones podcast. This week, the second session of our Storm of Swords book club, featuring chapters of Sansa 1 through Jaime II. I am Michael Prefdiner tomorrow. And with me is who wants it the most? Who wants
Jennifer Cheek!
Jennifer Cheek!
I'm here!
And Nick Bristow.
I'm here too.
Tim didn't want it, so he didn't get
I don't want to need it.
But you do.
Tim
Also,
I'm like Dario Naharis.
If you're listening to this and not watching us right now, Tim's hair looks out of control. It is ridiculous. So I guess what I'm saying is, if you're not watching us, maybe next time you should watch, and you can see a little treat. Like
my hair is taking on a red tint in
you
the channel.
You look a bit
And
gingery right now.
I love it. I love it.
Tim's beard has a bit of a red twinge to it.
He looks like Sansa.
Oh,
I have
you're
a
such a
Sansa.
Tully. You're so Tully.
And it looks like I have a win on my neck.
No,
I know.
as long as you're not Chet.
TBQH. I'm a little embarrassed, but
Ew.
Gross. You need to get some concealer on that.
guys, shut up!
Wow. So loud.
Shut up!
That's the loudest thing in the world.
So, this is our second live stream on YouTube, although it's really our first one.
Because we're still...
They're just back to back.
Yeah.
So if you're listening to this on iTunes, that means you're a mere 2 weeks away from getting to join us live
Yeah.
on as we record this on YouTube, and there won't even be any technical problems next
No.
time. Maybe.
None.
Well, you know, there might be some inherent limitations to some various platforms, but, you know, we'll be able to start
Right.
quickly.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
For reasies. And that's over at youtube.com/geeklyinc. GeeKlync. And that's what our new umbrella corp for the, you know, all of
All the
your...
things we do.
Yeah, all your
All
thrifty
our
so buff
stuff.
industries.
Yeah. Your pizza and pasta spaghetti hours.
Your cheek stuff. Your pant cheek.
What?
I'm just
Pant?
combining all of our names. Our
Pant?
cheek of
Who's pant?
cheeky buff. Nick's pants.
I'm pants stuff.
Or your VG
Oh.
cheek witch. I don't know.
Chico Witch.
You did it.
Sad nerd, which is thrifty nerd and sad nerds together.
Guys, let's talk about book.
Which book?
We're reading Storm of Swords.
Okay, we're reading
in the
Storm of
off
Swords.
Season.
And we're gonna do the whole book. Not tonight, though.
Not tonight, but we are doing the entire book. We're reading 6
We're
chapters
doing the entire book.
Tonight, let's go.
The entire book. Yep.
No, I mean not tonight, but
Yeah.
I thought we were only doing it.
No, we're doing the
we
whole
decided
book, yeah.
F it.
We're just gonna do it.
I think
all.
most of it was that I don't think I could have stopped myself.
I don't know where we would cut it. I don't
We
know
would cut it with.
Guys, if you were watching the video stream, you would have gotten to just see Tim aggressively grab the back of Jennifer's head.
No, he's rubbing my head. He gives me
No,
he gives me
it's not
scratches
starting
while we
to hurt again.
podcast. It's real nice.
Real nice.
He does get excited though sometimes. And sometimes Tim has too much nervous energy. Like
And then I do the meatwad dance.
Something just fell.
There's a ghost.
Oh no.
Oh, there's
Meatwad's in our kitchen.
there's a mouse.
No, I think I know
probably.
exactly. No, I think it was a cup that I set precariously somewhere. That was my bad.
Well, I did too hard.
You hadn't
Ooh,
done
please don't ever say that again. Sansa won, you guys.
Sansa. Oh, Sansa.
What'd she win?
Just jump right into it.
That's
Oh,
I just
So,
that
uh,
joke. Throwing you in the trash. I'm just gonna take you right out into the trash.
Oh, you don't know what the trash is. You've never taken out the trash.
Bullshit.
Wow.
Guys, this is now this is actually an intervention for our marriage.
Yeah.
We're real mad at each other.
You need to intervention. You need to stop this marriage.
Oh,
right
Stop marriaging.
Don't make me stop this marriage.
Jennifer, let me smooch other girls.
No. Good luck. Have fun with that.
Thank you.
So Sansa gets invited to dinner with the Tyrell.
Oh, she's so excited because Marjorie is like so pretty and cool, and she hears that the Queen of Thorns is interesting. So
Yeah.
It's
It should be a good time.
I guess she's gonna escort her there. Oh my God, it's Loris.
That's like the best that could
who
ever
is
happen.
the most
But
beautiful.
guys, what if this is a trick by Joffrey to humiliate her?
I do appreciate that Sansa's finally gotten wise and is like wants and thinks everything is a trap.
She should
a
think,
trap.
and like she
Everything
should.
is a trap.
Pretty much, yeah. In some way, if it's not a Joffrey trap, it might be a trap of some other sort.
Yeah, the Tyrells don't give an S about her.
Well, I mean, I don't know if I go to say that. They're not like Joffrey and like Tywin Lannister
She
levels
doesn't
of
have any
hateful.
reason to She doesn't have any reason to believe that they would give an S about her.
Right, yeah. So she's just being guarded. She's just preparing herself. But she does get a little excited because Loras is escorting her there.
And he's sassy.
And Loras gave her a red rose at the tournament, and he gave all the other girls white roses, and that obviously means something. So
At Ned Stark's tournament.
oh yeah, his tourney of the hand, which she was so excited about. Man, never getting those times back.
So basically, Loras comes to pick her up for the date, and she kind of goes real giddy.
She does.
For him. And she's trying to think of something to say. She's like, "Oh, you gave me that rose," and he's like,
Huh?
What?
Okay, sure."
He super does not remember at all. And she's like, no, remember? Because it was after you unhorsed Robo Royce. He's like, oh yeah, I killed Robo Royce at Storm's End. I remember that.
I thought that was an awesome line.
It's like, whoa, alright then.
Even if he was straight, like, I think it would be the same exact conversation.
I think you're right. Because, like, he just, yeah, like, why is Sansa going to be on his radar, you know?
Yeah, I think he's definitely...
Not that, because Sansa apparently is extremely pretty. Like, that is a thing. But she's also young.
But she's also, she's also, like, 11.
She's, like, 13, I think.
That's cool.
Yeah, whatever.
I think people get mad when we get the ages wrong.
Look, I can't keep track because the show is different. I'll go find out. Keep talking.
Yeah, I think they mentioned. But
So they have lunch, and this is very similar to the lunch in the show.
Except 1,000 times better, and you know why, Thrifty?
Because
Butter Bumps! Guys!
watch our levels.
You know, I'm sorry I yelled so much, but it's just that I've been finally waiting for a time on this podcast where Butter Bumps was like actually relevant, and now we can just talk about Butter Bumps for the rest of the show.
Wonder if he's going to be a point of view character.
I just love him so much.
He's so fat, and he does cartwheels.
He eats chickens.
Around.
He's very acrobatic for a heavy set.
He burps. Doesn't he fart? I think he farts.
He probably farts.
He does magic tricks too, where he like swallows shit and then puts other shit out of his nose.
He's got like he's got super control of his nostrils.
Yeah.
Like he's shooting stuff out of his nostrils all the time.
How do they do that?
They love it.
They go crazy for
all these
it.
high-born ladies like, yeah!
He's shooting like snot rockets of crap at them, and they are like, "This is the best.
This is better than Wildwoods." But the whole reason is to go there and kind of maybe make some Game of Thrones style, I don't know how you say, scheming.
Mm-hmm. Well, they want to get the lowdown on this. The Tyrells want to get the lowdown on this Joffrey character,
right? Because Marjorie is now wed to, or is
engaged
to Joffrey.
Yeah.
And they want to know if all the rumors are true. And Sansa, she kind of sticks to her. Oh, Joffrey's my king, and I love him. He's so cool.
Yeah, it's her still being very guarded and safe.
But, like, the Queen of Thorns and Marjorie, like, are like, okay, like, she's obviously terrified. Like, we gotta fix this situation. Yeah. No, I forgot. Like, I did not remember that was actually in the book. Like, and also that, like, Olenna is just talking mad shit about everyone. Like, oh, yeah, my son, he's so stupid. Lord Puffish. He's so dumb.
I wish I was lowborn so I could have hit him with a wooden spoon.
And did you see talking about, like, her foolish flock of hens? Like, the ladies that surrounded her, she's like, yeah, all these people are dumb.
I hate them.
But it seems like, I don't know, she's using Marjorie, like, she has to keep Marjorie in her confidence, but I get the feeling that Marjorie's also, like, smart. She's like her grandmother like that, so it's like the two of them being like, alright, let's plot, let's figure this out. Mm-hmm. Even though Marjorie's only, like, 16. That's a big difference in the show. Like, in the show, Marjorie's much older.
Yeah.
Marjorie seems to know what's going on.
She's still, and, you know, honestly, like, when I was reading the books, I, like, totally did not pay attention to Marjorie at all. And now that I watched the show and read the book again, Marjorie's saying the same things. I just didn't pay attention to her before for some reason. I don't know why.
Because she's a girl, right?
The deep, like,
she's so sassy. You know, she's so sassy.
No, I think the way that Natalie Dormer played her, like, just really, I don't know.
Yeah, you could see the undercurrents of something more happening. Of when she would lean over and say, "But you're scaring her. You can tell us."
Yeah, exactly. Like, and I think that's exactly like how Marjorie wants to. She doesn't want to be seen as scheming. Like, she kind of wants to, like, fly under the radar a little bit, and obviously. I'd like to think it's not that I'm unaware, but maybe that's just how George R. R. Martin wrote her a little bit.
Or sexist.
Or that I'm...
ignoring
I mean, maybe I am.
Ignoring the woman.
Jennifer, this is a feminist podcast, so.
I'm sorry, I'll see myself out.
We're all feminists except you.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm an MRA.
But I think it's also, like, the fact that when we first read these books, we're just, like, freebasing them as fast as we can.
I think that happens to me. No, I read so fast and, like, don't... I've been, like, forcing myself in this reread to read slower.
Just, like, chill.
Because I just want to know what happens so much.
I need to take notes as I read.
I should.
I'm always like, oh, that's a thing we could talk about. And then,
you know what we should do is get an actual copy of the book and not read it on Kindle, because then I could underline things.
I'll just write on my Kindle.
Yeah, you could highlight.
Oh, but that's like annoying to do on the Kindle. I think.
I'll just carry.
You take that back.
I think it is. I'm
I'll
sorry.
just carry my Moleskine.
Sorry. I do feel like I should take notes. There's so much happening.
It'll make our content and our brand so much better.
I think that this is definitely a series you can read.
Right, what we're doing right now is a steaming pile of dog
Yeah,
shit.
it's so bad. Like, oh my god.
What are we talking? You mean the podcast right now?
Yeah, the current
Oh, yeah, we're
podcast.
just-
Right. The podcast we're doing.
Now we do have show notes because we read and then we go back and make notes for it. So that does make you pay more attention to things. I think, or at least I did anyway.
That's enough behind the base.
We don't want to give away our secrets.
So all that to say is that Olenna and Marjorie are trying to get Sansa to talk, and she's very scared. So Olenna's like, "Hey, Butterbump, sing us a song."
Start yelling and shit.
Super loud, sing us the loudest, most obnoxious song.
And if you listen to the audiobook, you get a rendition of that song, like kind of over the background.
Yeah.
They should go in the background and add in the Hold Steady. Is that who did it? Who did it this time?
I don't remember.
Panic at the Disco? I don't remember. I think Hold
Panic
Steady.
at the Disco.
It was
Oh god.
Fall Out Boy. I think
Yeah.
it was the Hold Steady or something like that.
Yeah,
their thing.
that's saying
because
it
the
on the
National
show.
did the Reigns of Castamere last time.
Yeah. I really liked that version that they did
It was
on the
dope.
show. It was great.
Both of them are dope as hell.
Yeah.
Um,
So that was what was going through my brain when Butterbumps was singing this time. So once they got Butterbumps to like be loud and everyone else was like super not paying attention to them, then Sansa finally admits, she's like, he's a monster.
He's the worst.
He's really bad.
Yeah, and she kind of slips into younger Sansa mode, and she starts on like a way old inconsequential things, like he made me kill Lady and the Butcher Boy and stuff like that.
Yeah.
He's a liar.
Yeah.
no,
Not like he
whatever.
killed my
It's like,
dad.
let's go for the kill of the dad, the stripping you naked and beating you.
Well,
Those
she gets
are
there.
probably...
She gets there. She explains that too, but
But she's probably been holding it
I
in
think
so
she-
long, you know.
She also tells him that Cersei's a monster.
Yeah.
well, she kind of has been to Sansa, so makes sense.
What a pity.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like their reaction is exactly like it is in the show. Elena's like, "Oh, what a pity." Like, all right, I guess you guys got this under control.
Sure.
Like, why did they
And
even
then
ask
that's
her? Like, did they really not know? Like, I have a hard time believing they didn't know this.
No, I think they did know. They were just
Confirming with Sansa. But then, like, the other reason they brought Sansa to eat with them is they're, like, concocting this plan. They're like, oh, Sansa, how would you like to go to Highgarden? And she's like, oh, I would love
There are
to.
many flowers
They'll
there.
never let me go.
Right.
And they're like, yeah, they will. If we talk them
this
into
is
it.
a big change
Yeah.
from the book. Or the
Yeah,
Yes.
it is.
because even in the book, she's like, "Oh, we're gonna marry, her brother or whatever," and he's like, "Oh, Loras, that's awesome," and they're like, "No,
He's in Kingsguard. What are you doing?
Well, part
You
of
met Willis, the cripple.
well, part of the problem is in the show, like those other brothers don't exist.
Yeah,
they
'cause
just cut them out.
Garland is a badass swordsman.
Yeah, he's like super cool. So in
He was
the
in
books,
Renly's armor.
we have Garland, we have Loras, we have Marjorie, and then we have
You just said his
Willis.
name. Willis. Yeah.
yeah, we
And
have
Tad.
Heir to Hogwarts.
and Tag.
Tad Tyrell. Mom, I don't want to go to work.
Oh God. And Willis was injured, so Sansa's like, oh, that's
His leg was mangled under.
yeah. She's like, that's less good,
But now he's
better
like a
than-
scientist. He like
better
looks at
than
stars
Joffrey.
and ish.
Apparently, he's a really good.
Yeah,
dude.
Marty's like, oh, he's super nice. He read me books and stuff. You'll love it in Highgarden. We'll be like sisters.
And I bet actually Willis is probably the best one out of all of them.
He's like, oh, bookish and
I bet
nice,
he is.
probably.
Probably like way less gay than. Loras.
Yeah, probably so.
He's
Because
very-
Loras is about 100% gay.
100%
So.
gay. So,
As far as I know, unless he has any bi tendencies, which I've seen no sign of.
we haven't seen any sign of him.
No sign of that at all.
Well, he likes astronomy, so he's probably a huge ladies' man.
Duh, that's how
Duh.
you get the ladies. Like, let's go look at
Yeah.
stuff. That's how you do. You say, hey, you ask your lady on a date. You say, let's go look at the stars on the football field at our college, and then she says, yes, let's do it. Tim did that.
And then you
College.
get there and you actually look at the stars,
Baby.
and she's like, "What the fuck
This
is
is
this?"
boring.
Then I'm like,
Ugh.
shh,
I-
you're
I
interrupting.
thought we were gonna fuck on this football.
My
No, stars.
Do you recognize this constellation?
I've been setting up this microscope.
Microscope.
It's their father.
Do you know how
I've
this
been
is
setting up this
used?
telescope with this microscope. It's gotta be perfect.
You're gonna see everything.
hours.
Well, if a microscope can make like an amoeba like huge, imagine what it will do to the moon, which I'm pretty sure is bigger than an amoeba.
What if you put a microscope like on the on the eye hole of a telescope?
Then-
It'd be
No one's ever
best
done it.
date ever.
Time would freeze.
electron.
It would make a black hole. Don't do that.
Yeah,
Don't do
that's
that.
dangerous.
Don't do that.
Hey, should we talk about Jon
Let's
1?
do it.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Tim. Jon 1.
Yeah.
Let's.
Jon 1.
That's my favorite book of the Bible.
I was like, is this a Bible reference? I don't
You're
understand.
supposed to be like, what did he want?
Oh,
Yeah.
he already forgot the terrible joke. It was so bad.
I don't know why you'd even say that. John when
That pun was.
arrived at the wildling camp,
Yeah,
and it's like, wow, this is more like a
city.
a
This is
garbage
like,
town.
It is kind of like a garbage town, and there's a lot of people. I think he's like super taken aback by how many fires there are. He's like, wow, there are like thousands,
so much fire.
thousands of fires.
Right. He kind of describes like, oh, it's like a bunch of people got together and then just decided to stop kind of near each other.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
it's like a bad train
Well, there's
human
so
centipede creature.
there's there's so many different kinds of wildlings, and they don't all get along. So
Mm-hmm.
like I feel like this is all very tenuous. The
Yeah.
fact they're all in the same
You
valley
got like the
together.
Finns,
right
you got the Skagosies, you got the crazy cannibals.
now. Yeah, those cannibal ones. Like,
Yeah.
there's all sorts of wildlings.
They haven't
people.
introduced the giants yet.
They
but-
haven't, which is unfortunate. So the wildlings that Jon is with, which is Egret and some other peeps. And the Lord of Bones. They take him to Mance Raider's tent, which Jon recognizes that it's Mance Raider's tent because it's the biggest tent, and it has like polar bear furs on it or something.
And whimsical music.
Oh yeah, they have a musician inside of the tent. And Jon walks in, and there's like one dude with a giant beard eating a chicken, and then another like kind of badass looking dude, and he's all like, "Oh,
Oh, he has no ears.
hell, guy has no ears. That's probably Mance Raider, my lord." And then,
Or is
it's
he said your grace.
oh, your grace. You're right.
Yeah. He's like, shut up. And
That's not it.
let's.
Yeah, that's about
So
it.
that's
But they all laugh at him because he's like, "Mike, your grace," and they're like, "That's not him." And
yeah.
then
And I did.
Well, first of all, he's like, we don't do that here. Also, I'm not the
Yeah,
guy.
and I like it's
Super
that
wrong.
kind of stereotypical fantasy thing of I'm in a room and I don't really know who's who. I'll make the choice, and the
And it's
hero
always
always
wrong.
chooses correct. And John's like, "Whoops."
No, I don't think that's true. I feel like in that fantasy situation, it's always a person that you don't think is.
If he's the
Right,
chosen
he's always
one,
like the little guy.
Exactly.
but the main guy
Or
thinks
like
it.
in the First Law trilogy, where it's all like, "Oh, which one of these people is a wizard?" It's definitely not that dude that looks like a butcher. Baz.
That's different.
No.
First law rules.
Well, of course it was. I'm just saying. I like obviously he's gonna walk in and say it's the wrong person because he's dumb. He doesn't know anything.
Whatever.
And then so it's the Magnar of Thin that the guy with no ears,
Yeah, steer.
dear. He thinks it's Mance. It's not.
Who may have just been cast for season 4.
I think that's what happened. Yeah.
But it's probably Cold Hands.
I hope so. And
No one on the internet agrees.
guys, the Tormund Giantsbane is here, and he's my favorite. I love Tormund so
Yeah.
much.
He's pretty awesome.
Yeah, he's always like har har and making inappropriate jokes like
Yeah.
all the time about how big his member
It's
is.
huge.
He's my favorite.
So Mance is the maestro, if you will,
Yeah.
singing the tunes, and Mance and Jon, they get to talking, and basically it's like Mance is quizzing Jon Snow and like trying to figure out if he's legit, or
Like
not,
what his deal
or,
is.
or even more so, like I don't think Mance is fooled at all by Jon Snow, but I think that Mance does see in him that he could actually probably make him a real
Like he's manageable. He might not be on their side, but the risk is worth it.
Well, that's the thing that's interesting. So the reason, when Mance asked Jon, like, why do you want to come over? Like, why do you want to come over to our side? And he's like, no, you first. You tell me why you came over. And Mance's story is interesting because his is kind of like a straw that broke the camel's back type of situation. So he wasn't bothered by the fact that he wasn't allowed to be with ladies because they kind of did that anyway. But Mance went out on a raiding and was injured and taken care of by a wildling woman who gave him a really sweet cloak that was red, not black. And,
right. Well, she fixed his cloak.
Right.
He was attacked by it.
And she used her most
Oh, that's right. That's what it was.
Silk from a Shai or whatever.
And it had red in it. So when he went back to the wall, they were like, oh, you can't have this because it's not black. And he's like, this is stupid and I hate you and I'm leaving. Because if I can't even decide what cloak to wear, fuck that.
Yeah.
I'm gone.
It's, it's ask the small questions to learn the large answers. That's what they say.
So, obviously it wasn't just the cloak thing. It was that he wanted to have the freedom to do what he wanted.
Yeah. And so he goes out to be the king of the wildlings. Good for him.
And for Jon, the reason that he gives is... Oh, wait a second. Let's step back for a moment because Mance has seen Jon twice before.
He's like, check this shit out.
I kind of forgot about this when I was reading, and I was like, oh, yeah.
It's coconut bananas. They should go back in the past and digitally add the show's Mance right. Just in the background, ooh.
So the first time that Mance saw Jon was when Jon was little bitty.
Little babby.
And when Mance was still
in the
Night's Watch, and he came to Winterfell.
Well, Jon wasn't a little bit. He was
like a kid.
Probably 5 or 6.
Yeah, not like a baby.
They had piled up a giant pile of snow on top of one of the the towers, and were waiting for somebody to walk under so they could push it on him. Him and Rob.
Yeah.
So mischievous.
And they're fucking with Fat Tom.
Yeah, they're so rude because they knew that Fat Tom couldn't catch him.
Because he's slow. He's slow, Fat Tom.
Yeah. So that's when the first time. So when Jon was young, when he was a kid.
Yeah, and then the second time is when King Robert came to Winterfell, and he went to the feast and pretended to be well, I guess he didn't pretend. He was a maestro.
Yeah, he jumped over the wall and then raced down past Winterfell, came around the back, pretended like he was just coming in the back with the king's people. Yeah. Like, hey, I'm a bard.
It's me, Abel or Bale or something.
Yeah.
I'm Bale the bard.
Jim the bard.
Yeah.
We get a really interesting line here is when Mance is like, or Jon Snow says, how do you get over the wall, or how did you get past the wall? And Mance is like, oh yeah, the wall can stop an army, but it can't stop a single man.
Yeah.
It's too big and too many ways.
So Mance knows a way to get through, and I guess other people do too.
Mm-hmm.
As long as there's not too many of you, you can make it happen. I think he talks about climbing over too.
Yeah, he says he climbed over it, which is pretty impressive.
That's crazy.
What the hell?
The wall's so long and so much of it is probably never walked. Why don't they just go down really far away from one of those forts and just set up a ladder?
Yeah, let's just go here all the time.
Make it look like a piece of ice, then they can't see it. Mm-hmm.
Or why don't they just go over
make an ice ladder
and live on the other side because nobody's gonna fucking.
And if they see him, they're like, "No, you're on the wrong side. This is the wildling zone. Turn around." Idiot. We've been here for hours.
Are they just oh, those shoes aren't from Kmart. You must be a wilder.
Or maybe when they're like, you have to do this thing, and the wildling's like, I'm not gonna do that.
Stab. Nope. I steal your wife. But
well, how's that any different than an outlaw?
True.
Well, then the outlaws get killed.
So then we get to it being Jon's turn to say why he's leaving the Night's Watch, and he's basically like, well, you saw me at that feast. Did you notice where I was sitting and where the rest of my brothers and sisters
were
sitting?
Yeah. I was all in the back, getting drunk.
Below the salt.
Way below the salt. So far away.
Hell. Because he's a bastard. And he's like, yep, that's why. And Mance's kind of like, all right, I get that. And here's the thing that's interesting. So, we're in Jon's head in this, so we know that he's all like, I'm spying for the Night's Watch. But I'm like, I feel like this resentment is a real resentment, is the thing. I think that's why it's so believable. Right. And whether Mance believes him, I don't know. But it's definitely a believable reason. And I almost wonder, Jon, is there a lot more truth to that than, you even want to admit?
I think definitely. definitely.
Like,
'Cause
I think
this theme comes up
He's obviously bothered
a
by
few
it.
times.
Yeah.
In
sometimes-
a Game of Thrones.
And like sometimes I'm kind of like, John, why would you not just like go be with the wildlings? Seems not so bad.
Well, they're against the realm.
Well, I think there is definitely some truth to what he's saying, and that's, you know, a little bit of truth makes the best lie.
That's true.
I've always said that.
So
That's what you kids, if you're listening, you need to lie. Just mix in some truth. It helps.
It's a little.
A little
Guys,
bit.
Daenerys won.
What'd she win?
she won a boat.
You're back.
She got a boat named Balerion.
Okay, we got one more of those jokes, and then I think we're done.
Oh, good.
That that works for me.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy about that. Yeah, Dany's on a boat with her peeps.
Fuck land. She's on a boat, motherfucker.
Oh, her poor Kalasar is like, God, we hate it out here
It's
so
poison
much.
water. It's gross. I'm
Horses
throwing
can't
up.
drink it. I'm puking. I just puking everywhere.
Yeah, but they take Illyrio's boats and they rename them to the names of dragons that are dead, and then like, let's go to, was it
Pentos.
Pentos.
I think they're going to where Illyrio is.
Yeah.
That's the plan.
Yeah.
They're gonna go visit Illyrio next because he like gave them boats and all his like trade stuff is on those boats.
Yes, like if some silks and spices and ish.
So
It's a lot of good, you know, it's like, not only did I send those boats to get you guys, I also sent it to get, like, trade and shit. So,
kill two birds with one stone. Oh, so basically, Dany gets chatting with Arston, and he's just like giving her facts about dragons at this point.
Facts. Dragons can grow super big. Fact. If you put a dragon inside of a house, it'll be the size of a house.
Dragons can live at least 200 years, if not more. Dragons never stop growing.
The dragons died.
Dragons all are dead now, except for these that are on your
They're
boat.
weird 3 dragons.
should we also, like, point out that Arston Whitebeard is Arston Whitebeard and not somebody else, because it's much easier to conceal a character's identity in a book.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it's just letters, I believe. I believe it's just letters.
Yeah. You can't even, like, see them or anything, except for your mind's eye.
So Arston, like, knows a lot about this Targaryen.
And Jorah's kind of like, what the shit? What's this guy's deal?
He's just a squire, though, so.
A super old squire.
Their story is so bad.
So bad. But Dany doesn't even, like, think anything of it. That's the problem.
Is Dany stupid?
She might be a little dumb.
She's never lived in Westeros.
She doesn't know how it works.
know how things work.
But Jorah's like, Daenerys, this story does not make
Daenerys.
any sense at all.
Come on,
and
bro.
she's like, but he told me a story about my brother. I like him.
I like him. He's nice.
Like, yeah, he did.
Yeah, she's also like, tell me about my dad. And he's like,
Like, oh, your dad was not always, he was sometimes pleasant. Like, your
What
dad
can we
was
do about
terrifying.
that?
Oh, he's often harsh to his enemies,
Yeah.
and then Daenerys is like, well, maybe you shouldn't be enemies with him.
Like, oh,
Dany,
Dany,
you
you don't know
stupid.
shit.
And her brother Rhaegar was like bookish when he was a little babby, and they made fun of him. And like, oh, it's like Baelor the Blessed come again, which is the really religious one.
The one that built that maiden vault. Because he's
Yeah.
like, I can't stand to see my sisters because they make me lust, so I'm
want
going to
to
lock
do
them up
them,
in this house.
Put them in get out of here. But he was also obsessed with like prophecies and books and stuff.
So he like basically just like holed up reading all the time until he read some scroll and then came out and was like, okay, I need to learn how to fight now.
It seems there must be a swordsman.
Yeah. And so he did that.
They also had that great joke about his mom.
Oh yeah.
Well, a candle and some books.
In her womb.
He's
just reading in there.
They're regular jokesters.
I feel like it get boring in there, so maybe he did have a book.
What do you even do for 9 months?
And she also learned through Arston. I almost just messed that up.
Well, it's fine.
I know that he had some bros named John Connington and Arthur Dane.
Ooh, Sword of the Morning.
Sword of the Morning. So those names, if you haven't read past book 3, those names
Those guys look
yeah, they
cool.
might not mean anything to you,
No.
but just thought it'd be an interesting factoid for you, just to keep in your brain.
John Connington.
Mhm.
Yeah, he was the one that was saved by the Terminator, right?
Oh
Yes.
yeah, and he went into Westeros.
And Arthur Dane, I think, is in the first book.
He's mentioned.
when he fights Ned Stark.
Yeah, he's like one of those like epic like legend people.
Yeah, he's supposed to be the best swordsman in all the realm.
Yeah. And Rhaegar was friends with like all these people.
Oh.
Also Rhaegar, total musician, he played his harp a lot.
Yeah.
just because he's the best swordsman doesn't mean nobody in the kingdom can match him. It depends, like, if he gets a good piece of grass.
You know.
Oh, yeah.
Like a big pot dinner the night before. You know, things could go either way. One tournament you could win, next one you could go out the first round.
Yeah. Who said that? I forget who said that.
I think Ars. Did Ars?
Or is that Jorah?
Arson is saying that, and he was like calling out Jorah because he basically knows that Jorah like was good in one tournament,
but then
when
not
when he had the favor.
Oh yeah.
And then not, and Jorah's like, hey, wait a
minute.
He's talking shit about me.
Am I hurt?
I hurt. Yeah, Jorah.
I feel like Jorah should know who.
I also feel like Jorah should know who
he wasn't
is.
really in King's Landing
That's
much.
true, I guess. And he's got a big old beard right now.
Like, they don't have Polaroids. Like, only rich people in this world have Polaroids.
If you're rich, you have like a little painting in a locket of somebody,
Maybe.
and that's it.
Yeah.
I guess you kind of forget what people look like, and also if like they just like grew a beard and like look kind of weathered, like you would not recognize them.
Yeah, he's pulling the Jaime.
Exactly.
I feel like art degrees were like way more valuable back then.
Yeah, because you gotta paint your portraits. So
guys, so Sir Jorah comes to visit.
I like this scene because it's not awkward.
Not at all.
Naked.
Why is everyone so fucking nude?
Everyone always sleeps completely naked.
Why do they do that?
They don't have.
And they're not
jams.
let me put something on. They're like, I'll just
be naked.
Put this
just
blanket barely over my boobs, and then it'll keep falling.
But also, I like how like her handmaidens, Danny's like, get up, and they're just like, all right, bye, I'm naked.
Nude.
I'm just gonna go over here. Just like.
It's probably hot in there.
It probably is hot in that ship, but I'm just saying, like, that's just weird. I don't get it.
Didn't one of her handmaidens sleep at the foot of the bed like a dog?
Yeah, they take turns because there's not enough room for all three of them in the bed. There's room for two.
You get to be my dog tonight.
Pretty much. That is another weird thing that they have the handmaidens like sleep in bed, but the dudes don't do that. It's just the girls that sleep with their buddies in bed. It sounds kind of rad, actually.
But they're completely nude, and that is like warm, not hot, like hot as in sassy, but like warm as in like whenever skin touches skin, it's like hotter than.
It's hot.
The sun.
It's hotter than the sun.
That's why I can't touch people.
But I feel like that would be kind of cool to be like, I'm gonna have a sleepover every night with my BFF, and we're just gonna talk shit every night.
Naked and giggle.
And be nude as hell.
Cuddle.
Sounds good.
Maybe get into mischief.
But Jorah comes to talk to Dany. He has to talk to Dany alone. He's, gotta talk plans with her. That's definitely why they've got to be alone. And he's like, hey, why not? How about instead of going straight to Pentos, we go over to Astapor first?
Yeah.
And that way,
Flavor.
If Illyrio and Arson and Belwas get like super pissed at you, then we'll know that they're not really for you. But if they're okay with it, then we'll know that they really are here to like work with you. And hey, why don't you also get yourself some Unsullied while you're in Astapor and just use all Illyrio's goods that he's got in his boat? He should be fine with it because he's like.
But Jorah, how's? Oh.
No, like just use Illyrio's stuff. It's cool. He'll be fine with it because he wants you to be queen.
What's the point of having rich friends if you can't steal all their
money? Good point, Jorah. Good point.
You can give them like Riverlands.
I don't know. Line is, he says, "Oh, we have rich friends. We could take all their money." And then Dany's like, "I never thought about it
Dany,
like that."
Oh, you're so.
This is a poor chapter for her.
Dany's such a summer child. Like she's just like super unaware right now. Like
she was born in the summer. What can you do? She's green.
She's green as grass.
Green as goat's piss.
For several reasons. So Dany's like, yeah, I'm gonna do that right now. And she like hops up to like put clothes on. She like pulls pants over.
And she's like
naked
nude.
And then old Jorah.
Jorah's like, oh, she's liked my plan and she's naked, so that means that she totally wants.
So I'm just gonna smooch on her a little bit.
Jorah, that's not okay.
And then it goes from kind of creepy to like super creepy when he starts talking about how he should have been doing this like the whole time.
Like Jorah, she's like real young.
Yeah, but there's different rules then.
I don't know. 13's still pretty young.
Well, she married Khal Drogo.
Yeah, but that still was pretty messed up.
Yeah, it was.
And she had a baby.
She did have a baby. That's true, but still. He's like, what does he say? He's like, you're meant to be kissed often, and then kiss well and often.
Like, hello, Jorah. Someone is presumptuous.
She kind of kisses him back.
I think it was, but she also is like, why am I doing this?
Why? Yucky.
It's like out of shot. And she like comments, she's like, oh, his beard is scratchy. Drogo didn't have a beard. He had just a mustache.
Yeah, I think she liked his smell, his stinky man smell. And
yeah.
She's like, I've not gotten love for a while.
That's also, that's the thing,
But then she's like, wait a second. I'm your queen.
Man, she's
Get
like,
off.
The shit.
You can't do that.
Yeah. Ugh.
Nope.
I forget, what is his, like, last words to her? Like, he, like, does say something, like, before
I'll smooch you good.
I'm smooch you when I get back. Snick 'em.
Snook 'em, baby pants.
Well, basically, she's like, I'm your queen. You shouldn't have done that.
And then he's like, oh, I should have.
Basically, he was like, I'll be yours, the most loyal forever, and he wants to be part of the head of the dragons.
Well, no, then she's like, kings can take multiple wives. You should take multiple husbands, and I can be one of them.
Would Jorah be cool with that? I'm gonna go ahead and say no, he would not.
I think he would. If he got to be one of them, I think he'd be.
I can see him being
He
hella jealous.
dragon.
I can see him being super jealous, though.
Yeah, what can you do?
He just wants to get his foot in the door.
Yeah, step one, get foot in the door.
That's a good point.
If there was a Sister Dads show,
Sister Dads with Jorah and who knows? Who even knows?
Dario.
Yeah. Oh my God, Jorah and Dario. That would
Like, damn.
They would kill each other. Like, for sure.
Hey guys, let's not talk about this anymore. Let's talk about how Bran won.
Remember how?
How did he win?
He did win. He won a bear, or what were those wolves eating? I forget.
An elk.
An elk. He won an elk from those other wolves.
It's a very badass wolf dream.
This is 2 cool wolf dreams we've had recently.
So many wolf dreams.
Last week we talked about Arya's wolf dream.
I'm nervous I'm not going to get many more wolf dreams.
I want more wolf dreams all the time. In Bran's wolf dream, he like comes upon these wolves that are eating the elk, and then he's like, "Nope, this is mine now," and he like fights them, and he has a great time.
He fights like an older like alpha male.
Yeah, and then rolls over and shows him his belly, like, "You win."
I'm sorry.
Does he kill him?
No, he doesn't kill him, but he does he wins the fight.
Yeah. And
he's just like sinking his teeth in for a good, hunk of elk, and Hodor wakes him up.
Yeah, the wolf's like, I don't understand why some god is yelling Hodor from
what
the
is
sky.
happening?
Yeah, and then he's like, oh, this is a boy thought. I don't need it.
I love those thoughts when he's like coming back from being the wolf, where he like recognizes like, this is a man thought that I'm having. I don't get it. So Jojen is like, dude, like, you need to control yourself better when you're a wolf.
Yeah,
like,
did you pee on a tree?
He's
like,
like,
no,
I didn't. Because he's just like 100% wolf when he goes into the wolf dreams. Like, he completely forgets that Bran exists and lets himself be ruled by the wolf brain, which is not good because he might not ever come back.
Which is a scary thought.
And then he'll die. Like, he'll actually die.
Interesting because he's like, I need you to, scratch something or pee on something, like, just so I know that, like, you have some control.
Right.
And he's like, you're gonna need that control, and eventually you could be able to control all the creatures. Because you're a Queenseer and a warg.
But the problem is that Jojen's not a warg, so he can't really help Bran that much. Like, he knows a little bit about it.
Right, because he's a Chronarch man, and they sort of keep a little more to some of the older ways, not just the ways of the first men, but also the children of the forest and so forth.
But he's helped Bran be able to open his third eye, quote unquote, so Bran can go into the wolf, but he can't control it. And he's like, I can't help you with that. We're gonna have to go north of the wall and find the three-eyed crow, because the crow is going to be help you be able to control this better.
Right, and
I really like the description of, he's like, I know that I'm supposed to, mark a tree, but as soon as I get in the wolf, I just feel like I know to mark the tree, but I just feel like it's not that.
Yeah,
so there's other cool stuff to do.
Exactly. Now, here's the question that just came into my brain, thinking about the whole opening a third eye thing. So, does opening a third eye mean that he can warg? Is that what that is?
It just means he can go in, like, conscious.
Okay. Okay, because that's what I was wondering, like, the difference between him and Arya. Because Arya can go into Nymeria, but she doesn't do it on purpose. She just does it by accident.
Right.
I think that's what it is. Although he does talk about that he still dreams of the crow pecking at his forehead, so maybe it's not completely open.
Well, because the green seers could go into any animal, and they could see through the werewoods and trees and stuff. And...
Maybe when it's truly open, he'll be able to control.
Because he's like he's unshackled, but he isn't flying.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. So like, it's just interesting to compare Bran's wolf dreams and then Arya's, where Arya does not really know what's going on and like what she's doing.
She just thinks she's
She has the raw ability, but she has no one there to help her with it.
Yeah, it's like random too.
And why is it Bran? Like, why is Jojen like, Bran, you're it, when Arya can do? I guess Bran can do more stuff, even though Arya has a similar like warging, and Jon can warg too.
Mm-hmm.
So, which makes me feel like Robb can warg. We just don't have a...
I think Jar Jar said they all could do it.
They can all do it.
Yeah.
Can you imagine... think about Sansa warging. Isn't that a weird thing to think about? Like, I don't know.
Well, her... It's kind of like, like their wolves are like the training wheels. So, like...
The fact that, Sansa never really got off the training wheels.
Yeah. So, even if, like, they could warg to other animals, like, she's never going to be able to, like, practice.
Yeah,
exactly.
Her wolf is gone.
So it's a little different.
Unless she wargs into a ghost wolf, which would be awesome.
That'd be so sweet.
So the crew has been, like, debating what they should do next. They've been hanging out at this tower. Should they stay there? Should they go into one of the Stark Bannermen's place, or should they just keep going over the wall? And they finally hash it out, and Bran finally agrees. The best course is to go beyond the
Even
wall.
though that's the scarier route, but I mean, he's never gonna expand in his abilities if he doesn't go.
Yeah, and it's up to him to decide, and he chooses to go to the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Jojen knows the future, so...
Yeah, so he doesn't seem super concerned about it.
Exactly. It's
just like that's where we need to go.
Yeah, he doesn't know everything specifically, but he has a feeling. Is that Davos next?
Yeah. Davos II!
Ooh. This is a good Davos chapter, am I right, guys?
It is really good.
Because Salvador San's in it.
Oh, I love Salvador San. He's so great.
I love how much Salvador San really likes Davos.
He
loves
Davos.
He really loves Davos.
He wants to give him a ship.
Yeah, like... So Davos hangs out with the dude that found him originally. Corain is his name. And Corain's like, "Oh, you're Davos. Cool. Salvador San loves you. I'm going to be super nice to you."
Yeah.
But
take my cabin, take my sword, or my knife, or
I
whatever.
did think it was funny Davos, like, mentioned that, like, I guess, like, going from eating nothing to eating super rich food, he just was, like, vomiting and shitting, like, a lot.
Yeah.
He said he had either one end or the other over the edge of the ship. Do people just shit off the edge of the
Right,
ship?
and that made me realize I didn't know how people go to the bathroom on ships.
Because that seems super dangerous.
Probably just shit off the
That seems so dangerous.
When, like, I'm on my dad's boat, like, when we go offshore fishing, I would go in the toilet that they have on the boat.
I bet it...
Like, it was...
I don't know if they had chemical toilets back in Westeros.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Maybe they did.
That's what we did.
But, like, what if, like, I can understand vomiting off of the edge because you're, like your feet are on the ground. But, like...
I've definitely done that.
I feel like how many people got washed into the ocean because they were trying to poop over the side of the
I guess
boat?
you just get in the rigging.
Where are you gonna put the poop?
Maybe they had chamber
Like that
pots.
would be kind of... Like, if I wasn't... I wouldn't want to do it in public. But, like, if I had the choice, like, to poop over the edge like that, I would totally do it.
I
Yeah.
think I'd fall in, and then I'd fall in my poop water.
I'd just be afraid of hitting the boat with my poop.
Yeah, over that.
It's like
be embarrassing.
pooping.
And Stinky, get out of here.
Ugh. Anyway, so Davos finally makes his way to... Oh, wait. I'm sorry. There's more information. So Corain is talking to Davos more about, like, what has happened while Davos has been chilling on that rock. And he's like, "Oh, yeah. The ghost of Renly led Tywin Lannister's van at the Battle of the Blackwater."
Oh, you know.
And
normal
Davos
stuff.
is like, I've seen some weird shit. That could be real. Because he talks about, like, the weird ghosts and stuff that he's seen, like, at sea. He didn't say ghosts, but he's like, I've seen some weird shit.
Yeah, I've seen enough weird things in my days that... Okay, cool. Renly Ghost killed everybody.
Got it. And, like, almost everyone has deserted Stannis. And now Stannis doesn't want to see anybody except for Melisandre. He's just, like, holed up in his room.
He's mopey as hell.
He's really sad. So Davos is like, I gotta go see my king and see what's going on. Also,
I gotta kill her.
I gotta kill Melisandre because I hate her so much.
Right.
And then that's when Salvador San's like, you shouldn't even joke about that.
Like, don't even say it, like, right now. Like, don't say it.
Like, she has special powers and you know it. ghost vagina. And
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah, because Davos has for sure seen that, and Davos is like, I don't care, I'm gonna do it anyway.
Yeah.
And Salvador's son at first he's like understanding, he's like, all right, like I get it, like your sons are dead, but Davos is so insistent. He finally just kind of gets pissed. He's like, dude, like who's gonna go tell your wife and your remaining sons that you're dead? Oh, it's gonna be me.
Yeah, I'll do that. Sure, great.
It's
Thanks,
super,
Davos.
super shitty of you. Like I offered you a boat and to be in my fleet. We can make mad money.
So much money.
To a boat, and then you return the favor with giving me an errand
Yeah, like what the heck. So
of reporting you're dead.
But it's only because Salvador's son cares so much about Davos. He doesn't want him to die, and he doesn't want to have to tell Davos's wife that he's dead.
Right. Because things are like so much different at Dragonstone. It's not just gonna be like Davos walking in and be like, "Hey, I'm back, hand of the king," whatever.
Right, which we see because he goes back and he's like, "Let me in." And they're like, "I don't know who you are."
Can't do that. You're in the dungeons.
Yeah.
He's gonna kill a lady.
He basically, like, he gets to the gates, and he's like, well, you know, so-and-so knows me, and they're like, nope, he's dead.
No, yeah.
Well, and then he, like, names, like, 5
Nope,
people.
all dead.
I don't even know that one, but it sounds dead. Like, so many people died. He has to, like, dig so deep. And finally, like, that sounds...
Oh, he's like, oh, my son's here. He's like, a squire or something. The king.
Yeah, Devin. And they finally do let him in the castle. And
Yeah.
he guys, who he bumped into in the castle? It is Shireen, which is Stannis' daughter, Edric Storm, and old Patchface.
Oh, terrifying Patchface.
Edric Storm, don't you mean Gendry?
Oh, you're right.
I do mean Gendry.
Yeah, they do.
Man, this show, they think every bastard's the same.
Oh, so rude. The best thing about this chapter is what Patchface sings at Davos, or says to Davos when he comes in. He says, "Fool's blood, king's blood, blood on the maiden's thigh, but chains for the guest and chains for the bridegroom. I.
Yeah, and if you've watched the show,
Well,
there's the Red Wedding.
there it is. I was about to talk about spoiler, and I'm like, wait, we don't have to do that anymore.
Yeah,
we can just talk about this shit now. Yeah.
Also, Edric Storm's really interesting.
Yeah.
Because he talks about how Robert Baratheon actually really liked him and like hung out with him and shit like once a year.
Yeah, and he like sent him a little hammer, just like his dad's hammer.
I think they always talked about how Robert Baratheon really loved kids. He just hated Joffrey.
Yeah, well, Joffrey was evil.
They don't even talk about like Robert like spending that kind of time with Joffrey, which I'm assuming is because Cersei like kept them from him.
Probably, yeah.
Well, like well, see, here's the thing: all of his bastards would like gurgle and smile and giggle at him, but Joffrey would just like cry and stuff. Like
it's because he's not.
Yeah.
Oh, he's not a Baratheon.
Sorry.
No.
So after this creepy run-in with Patchface, and then Davos chatting with Edric Storm, Sir Axel Florent shows up and he's like, "Take him to the dungeon. He's tried to threaten our lady."
Oh my god,
Melisandre.
She really can't see the future.
How does he know? What the hell?
She can see the future for real.
Oh, she's so creepy.
Like in this show, he had to physically like in the room threaten her, and
Yeah.
it was just,
No, she
like,
just knows.
thinking about
She
it.
just knows it. So
That's crazy.
so Davos goes from being stranded on a rock and thinking he's safe, but now he's got to go to the dungeons.
Yeah, but I do like when he's making up his mind to do it, he's not even sure if he can kill her with this knife.
Yeah.
And then when he gets there, he's like, "Oh, I'm immediately captured." Well, shit.
Oh, damn it. That didn't work out how I planned.
Yeah. All right, Jamie.
Is there...
Oh, Jaime II.
This is like...
Jaime.
Tim, you like really did a write-up on this one.
Sorry. It's
It's a long chapter. There's a lot that happens.
it's just bullet points.
So Jaime and Brienne and co, they end up at the Inn of the Kneeling Man, which is where the last of the Starks, joined the Seven Kingdoms.
Yeah, like back a long time ago, like back in the past, where the last king of the North knelt to Aegon the Conqueror. So they're like, oh, this is kind of interesting that we're at this place. Thing is, this inn, the inn keep, it's not really an inn keep.
Right.
They
enter the place, and there's like a 15-year-old boy just like with a crossbow.
like, what up?
like, hello.
Because a lot of these areas are just devolving into chaos.
Right, because this is like all the area that Gregor Clegane has been through, right?
Yeah.
So it is super messed up. like really messed up.
Yeah, so like this guy comes out the back, and basically what happened was they're like, well, we found this inn, nobody was home, so now it's our inn.
Yeah, we found the dead people here, so I buried them, and now I own this inn.
Mine. And he's like, oh yeah, like my wife did this, my wife did that. Where's your wife? She's around. Okay, that's super weird. Okay. It's just like super sketchy the entire time they're talking to them, and Jaime and Brienne luckily both like recognize like something is not.
I don't trust this man named Man.
I feel
nor
like
this boy named Boy.
I do feel like Sir Cleos is like, oh great, we should sleep in a bed. And like, Cleos, you don't know anything.
I wish you were smarter, Cleos, so but
they do get food from them. Horse steak. What does a horse steak taste like?
I wish I knew, but
I want to eat a majestic horse steak.
Ow.
Yeah, probably not super delicious. Yeah.
So they has them leave their weapons outside, and I don't know. I guess the boy is an orphan from the war after the brave companions killed his parents.
Yeah, just like all sorts of sadness, just strewn all about.
Right, and the guy lost his 2 sons. It's very sad.
And, you know, it's interesting because they find out that there are 3 horses in the stables. And they're like, oh, that's so weird because there's 3 of us here. And he's like, oh, they're not for sale. And they're like, mm-hmm.
Sure.
All right.
I bet.
Well, let's go look at the horses because, you know, we both know they actually are for sale.
Yeah.
And as they're selling these horses, the guy is like very interested in telling them which way they should be going.
Right, because they can't go down the river because the river apparently got blocked by 2 boats. It's like, oh, so you gotta go this way. It's like, oh, okay.
Like, there's 2 roads, but don't take that road. You gotta take this other one.
It's not safe. The man's dead. Who knows who's in that tower house?
And Jaime like makes some comment about like all the shit he's stepping in, and is like winking at Brienne, like hoping she gets what he's saying. Like basically, this guy is.
I didn't quite understand that reference because the stables were badly taken care of.
He's saying it's bullshit, but he's saying.
I see that part, but I thought he was basically saying there's so much poop here.
Yeah, he was saying that, but also that there's a lot. This shit. This is bullshit.
I guess I was reading in too much. Like the fact there's a lot of poop there meant they're outlaws.
No, that's not what he was saying. He was being like, there's some bullshit. And
I was like, but are there bodies buried?
No, but you know what the poop was about? There was only 3 horses, but there was tons of poop because there's more horses. The people that are down the road.
Got it. You guys are smart. I'm not smart.
Yeah, because that's the rest of their band is down the road.
Where'd you read that at?
I don't think I did. I think I understood it. I'm sorry.
Well, because later on they get to the thing and they're like, yeah, there's probably bandits waiting up the road he told us to take. So.
Yeah, I think Jaime like makes some like mentions like, yeah, it's probably where all the horse poop. I think he says that in the chapter.
Well,
maybe you were reading too fast.
It's so nice to read it. I'm like, what's happening? You know.
Brienne pays the gentleman for the 3 horses, and she gives him 3 golden dragons.
Yeah, it's like way too much. And Jaime's like, he is robbing you blind, but whatever.
Yeah, that might just be a little bit like, if you show these outlaws how much money you have, you show how much it's worth to rob you.
Yeah.
You fool.
Mm-hmm.
Well, but she also really wants the horses, so, I mean, they get the horses. It works out. And they do not take the road that the guy suggested, which is
and Jaime was like, nice, you're so much more smarter than I thought you were.
Yeah, this is great.
Right. He was very impressed by her smartness.
Mm-hmm.
So they head on down the road and they go to make camp for the evening, and Brienne is like, I'll take first watch. And Sir Cleos is like immediately asleep.
You're like, done, I'm out.
Asleep. Jaime doesn't, and they stay up and talk for a little bit.
Mm-hmm. And basically Brienne's like, you're a Kingslayer. And he's like, yeah, but you weren't there, so you don't really get to run your mouth so much.
I don't really know what happened. And then we get back, like a backstory in Jaime's brain of what actually went down.
Right. And he basically does a quick recap of how he became... The whole arc is how he became a knight, how he became a Kingsguard, and how he became the Kingslayer. And the funny part is that he became a Kingsguard because his dad, Tywin, was sending Cersei down to King's Landing to, maybe shake her thing and maybe
find some eligible bachelor.
Who knows? Some kingly son. And Jaime's like, now I don't get my sister Putang. I gotta go I gotta go down
I
there.
gotta go to King's Landing. So, well, Cersei comes to him with that idea. She's like, hey, if you end up as a Kingsguard, then you'll be here with me in King's Landing. So you should do that.
Right.
And, like, Jaime's like, I don't know. But then, like, Cersei comes to him at the end and they bone down.
She's like, I will do this sex to you some more.
Yeah. She, like, dresses as a peasant wench and he's, like, super into
Like,
it.
hey.
She sex vinces him. That's like a combination of sex.
Convinced. And it totally works. And he's like, sweet, I'll do it.
Yeah.
And
a real gift of a magi scenario. Because they know that Tywin won't do anything if Aerys sets him up in the Kingsguard, because they cut out or ripped out Ilan Payne's tongue just for saying that Tywin what kind of ruled the kingdom. So all right.
So he can't say, like,
he's not going to do anything. So when he...
If Tywin's the hand at this
He's
point,
not-
why isn't he down there already?
No, he resigned. He resigned.
Well, Tywin is the hand.
No, I thought he resigned.
Well,
He resigns
after this.
Oh, that's right.
That's
That's
right.
right.
Well, like, yeah. So if after this point, why aren't Jaime and Cersei? Or are they just like living with their mom?
Cersei is there, but
Their mom's dead.
her mom's dead. And
Right.
Jaime, I guess, is just squiring for Crakehall Man. And
I just don't understand if Tywin's in King's Landing, like why they aren't.
well, Cersei is. Jaime is still probably squiring or knighting.
Like other places.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe Tywin's in King's Landing too. It's just that
And
Jaime's
maybe
not.
Jaime has to stay to run some
Yeah.
Lannister shit.
In Lannisport or whatever.
Yeah.
At Casterly Rock.
Yeah.
But all that to say is that Jaime ends up in King's Landing and Cersei has to go back to Casterly Rock.
Yeah, I think Tywin knows that like they were, messing around as children, and he was trying to separate them.
I would guess yes. He's not a stupid man.
Yeah.
Like I think he has to be aware of that being a problem.
Well, I know they've been caught before.
Yeah. When they were like little, yeah.
Gross.
Super gross.
So I guess that before that, like before Jaime went off to try to be Kingsguard, I guess that Tywin was trying to set him up with Liza Tully.
Yeah.
Which, man, can you imagine that marriage?
I kind of think about that sometimes.
Jaime would have been so unhappy.
It's
so.
I guess I'll kill you? I don't...
Yeah, he would have I don't know what he would have done. It would have been bad. Really sad for him. Because, like, Liza turned crazy. Which, maybe she wouldn't have turned crazy with Jon. No, she still would have, I'm pretty sure.
Nah.
I
Yeah.
don't
Well,
think
you know that Jaime can give you some kids, so...
Yeah, that's true. He is fertile.
It's kind of weird that they're setting this up like this, that, they're scheming to get him into the King's Guard, when we also know that King Aerys puts him in the King's Guard just to spite Tywin.
So maybe just, like, it worked out.
Yeah.
Maybe, like, or...
Maybe it's a little both.
Wow, because it was Cersei's suggestion to put him in the King's Guard.
Yeah.
I'm assuming she's not working for Aerys in any way. Like, I get maybe those two things just happen to work together.
Yeah, I think it's... I
guess.
bet, like, Aerys heard is like, yes! This will be awesome!
Wait!
Make
his
Tywin
dad's
angry.
super mad. And I hate him. And and Aerys, he's very wroth with his enemies, so it works out for him. So, as for the whole king slaying part...
Yeah.
Aerys is crazy as shit and also bad. And what we find out is that Aerys had commanded Jaime to go kill Tywin, his dad.
Yeah, because when Tywin gets there, it's like, oh yeah, the gates are open to me, I'm going to sack the city.
Yeah.
Aerys is basically getting his other hand, his new hand, Rossart, to be setting up the bombs everywhere, and Jaime kills him.
Yeah.
And when he walks in, he has his like Lannister armor and his Lannister sword, and
Yeah.
Aerys is like, what's that? Is that blood? Is that your father's blood? Go kill your father.
He's like, nope, it's Rossard's blood. And then Aerys literally shits himself.
Yeah.
Because he's so afraid.
There's a lot of bowel leakage.
Yeah, a lot of shitting in this section of reading.
It just makes you realize that I've never been that afraid of anything, because I've never accidentally shat or pissed myself.
Yeah, never.
Well, unless I was blackout drunk, but that was different.
That Thanks for telling us all that.
I've never shat or pissed myself, except for that time where I shat and pissed myself.
Well, not from,
all those times.
well, I wasn't
Not from
afraid.
fear.
I was
Yeah.
just having such a good
Maybe
time.
you were afraid. Maybe when
Whoa! I just,
Terrifying.
Well,
Maybe you
I've
saw
had
ghosts or
bad-
something.
yeah,
didn't even
stop
know.
spooking me when I'm asleep.
So, and there's this whole like this little tidbit too of Jaime like after he kills Ares, he's like sits down on the throne, just be
Yeah.
like, who's gonna come in?
Yeah.
But
And-
then
Well,
like
he just sits down and says, "I'm gonna wait here for whoever is gonna."
right, but it looks like so bad to whoever comes in that he's sitting on the throne.
Well, first two of the other like head knights dudes come in, so now he can't book it. He can't
right,
just leave.
he can't just be like he just happened to be
So
dead.
now he chooses a worse idea and sits in the Iron Throne.
Yeah, and they're kind of like, are you gonna take
Like,
the
what's
Iron
going
Throne?
on? He's like, no.
He does think about it first. Well, for a second, he thinks about. He's like, "What if I go and get Viserys, Prince Viserys?" And then I'm like, "Nope, he's the king," and totally like messes up the whole rebellion. He thinks about that.
That's
for a
an
second.
interesting concept.
Yeah.
I wonder why he thought about that.
No.
Maybe he just hates his father and hates Robert.
Yeah. Well, at that point, like we know that Viserys is terrible, but he's like a kid when this
Yeah.
happens. So I think that there is an inkling of goodness in Jaime, more than an inkling. There's goodness in Jaime. I think maybe Jaime thinks about that because he's like, maybe that'd be better.
I think Cersei's just a bad influence on Jaime, and
I could see
if
that.
she wasn't around, like he would be great.
Yeah. Well,
Most likely.
but I feel like it's a chicken and egg thing. Like, they're twins. Like, they've only been around each other for like.
Well, there's
as
always
long
the
as-
good twin and the evil twin.
Well, I think we
Right,
know
I
who's
think-
who.
Yep, Jaime's the evil
It
one.
happens.
So Jaime's waiting to see who comes in first into the throne room, and it's Ned Stark.
Good old Ned. And he's like scowling at him, and they make it sound like
Get off that throne.
Ned hates Jaime for some crazy
Well,
reason.
Like,
Jaime was on the other side of the fight, so.
Well,
wait.
yeah, I guess.
He's part of the Kingsguard.
Yeah.
right, but like, dude, Ned, like you're overthrowing the king.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like it's super. I've said this. I'm pretty sure I've said this before on the show. I feel like this. To me, it's just as hypocritical as people getting super mad at Judas for killing Jesus. Because I'm like your whole theology kind of like hinges on that. So you shouldn't be mad at Judas because you kind of needed Judas to kill,
Right.
to turn Jesus over. So like, why are you mad at Jaime for doing this thing that needed to be done? That obviously needed to be done. Like,
Maybe they thought they would just
even when you were on the side
or
to
execute
overthrow-
him or
Well, wasn't Neddard upset just because he was sitting on the Iron Throne?
yeah,
I think
there's
he was
a lot of
also
that.
upset because he was Kingsguard. Like, if someone that was not Kingsguard had killed Ares, that'd be one thing.
It's an
I think-
oath.
I still
was
think
the
it's
original
silly.
plan.
I just think it's dumb.
Yeah, that was the plan to like sneak in, kill Ares, and then sneak out. But somebody saw him do it.
Yeah.
So.
Anyway,
Oh well.
but guys, that's our book club for the week.
We did it.
Yay.
Got through it.
That was a kooky and crazy one.
10-10.
What?
Read those reviews.
Guys, as always, when you review us on iTunes, it makes me happy, and so I read you reviews about you doing reviews. Megster189 says, love me, GOT. Jim in Rhode Island says, the best. I have tested many Game of Thrones podcasts, and you are the best. Dick Darlington says, Hodor, 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 Hodor. Rivers End 3 says, glorious donkey Hodor. S11051615 says, love the book club. Great synopsis and spoiler section for fans who have read the books and enjoy the show. Girl adds a great crackpot theories as well.
Oh, we haven't done that. We should do a crackpot episode again.
Oh, it is good.
We need to do another.
We could totally do a whole crackpot episode.
Odd6 says, got trifecta. Butts for life again? Did he review twice? I'm confused.
Lots of
Alright,
hope.
well, there's two different feeds that you can review.
Oh.
So if you reviewed us on one of the feeds, go find the other one and review that one as well.
I hate that still.
Good for him.
I hate that still exists. J Snow Baby says, I freaking love it. Whimsical Chick says this cast should have their own stage show,
my
or
gosh.
maybe a live show on Geekly Inc. Nubba420 says, my favorite got show. They have a wealth of knowledge of the books and show. Jennifer's my fave,
Thank
but
you.
the rest of the crew
Thank
are
you.
great. I'm not reading the rest of it. How dare they? Absolutely love the Spoiler Town section. It's great to listen to fellow book fans who don't just constantly berate the TV show for any little change it makes. Like a main SOF podcast does. Keep up the great work, Winterfellas.
Yay.
Well, thanks, guys.
Y'all are...
I think it might be whimsical chic.
Oh, that makes sense. It could be chick too, though. I've seen that.
Could be.
Whimsical chic.
Why do we have to fight so much?
Guys.
Jennifer, how do you
I
have
just
so much
want
more better than
everything
me?
to be perfect.
Because it's my
Oh, I'm
computer's
sure
super
you
new.
do.
So we did a podcast.
We did it.
Bye, Nick. I miss you.
You can follow Nick on Twitter at rbristow, or you can follow me at thrifty-nerd.
You can follow me, Tim Lanning, at Tim Lanning.
And you can follow me at Jennifer Cheek.
Or
And you can follow all of us at Cast of Thrones, or our new Super Umbrella Corp, Geekly Inc.
Geekly Inc. That's where you go for all your greatest news and views of whatever. So who's it's this whole empire.
Whoops.
Nick's back. Nick, we already did your Twitter.
Yeah,
you.
we got you.
Okay.
We got you.
Thanks, bros.
Are we gonna do spoilers? Because
I don't know if I have-
I don't really have any huge ones, so I think that.
I
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
What just happened?
Wait, they're back.
Hey guys,
That
what's
was
up?
weird.
Are you still broadcasting?
What is going on?
Probably.
We'll
I
find
guess it doesn't
out.
matter if we are. So should we just sign off?
I
Yeah.
think so, yeah.
Yeah.
I guess until next week, keep riding that donkey.
Yeah.
Until next 2 weeks. Keep riding that donkey.
You don't get technical.
Bye guys, I love you.
Bye.
Bye.
And to
Oh,
everyone.
the feed went like away. We'll see if it comes back.
Oh, it did?
Second. Yeah. It went error for a second.
Well, it's probably just
was
if it says
bad.
error, that means that's the error on my screen, so the feed's still happening then. Haha.
There we go.
Oh,
Okay, I see what you're saying. Alright, great. Hey, that worked out pretty well.
Man, that's crazy. How do I?
we did it. We did it, guys.
All right.
My bum hurts. And
Guys, can I tell you? So earlier when I was trying to research how old Sansa was, I looked up Sansa Stark, and it took me to a bodybuilding.com forum where a man whose username is Help-a-Bra says, "She apparently has dem teddies, but I thought she was 14. Aware me on her age." No one responds. He posts again. Please respond. Post again. Respond. Post again. Piss. And someone finally says 14 to 15. Then he says, piss spawner? I don't know. That's not a word. And yeah. And
You didn't post that on the internet,
it's pretty good.
but
That's great.
cool pedophiles.
but thank you so much, folks who came out.
Thank you so much.
On our first, it was a little rocky on our end, but we'll
Rocky.
I mean, it was our first time, you know. Bodybuilding.com
Whoops.
forum. Oh, loud.
A little rough around the edges. That's okay. You still love us, I hope.
well, I'm sure.
I don't understand how you skinny people have sit on your butts.
You gotta get cushions. You gotta get
My
pillows.
butt doesn't. Like, I used to be able to sit on my butt, like, all the time. And now I can't even sit on my couch like that often.
That reminds me of a chapter
Exactly.
where they talked about Illyrio and how he took his cushions with him.
Everywhere that you
It's
went.
true, though. And I didn't think it was. I was like, no, like, it doesn't really.
Whenever I ride a bike, I feel like I'm dying because it's like it digs all up in my cracks. But
That's because
I
bike
feel
seats are
like I'm
terrible.
on my tailbone, like, all the time.
yeah.
now.
All right, I'm gonna stop the stream. Thanks, guys. I love you.
Thanks, YouTubers.